Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm so close I could taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me.
Adam, what's your point? The future looks bright.
My handshake is better than anything I ever signed. It's right here.
You are a one-of-one?
My son's right about
I don't think I've ever said this before.
Okay, gang, episode 21. Lots going on, a lot of things. There is a Macron in France that's not too happy to the point where they had to sue an Owens in America. So we're going to talk about that because it's going to be very interesting when they get into the discovery phase and what kind of things they're going to discover. Maybe they're going to discover something that just looks a little weird. You know what I'm saying? But that's a different story that we'll get into. But maybe they're confident nothing's going to be happening there. We got more Epstein stuff coming up. At one point, they said they want the judge to release everything. Then the judge from Florida says, no, we're not going to release. Why wouldn't you release? So this Epstein thing continues. So let me get this straight. Let's finish off this Epstein thing and move on to a different topic. No. Let's tease the audience that we are going to go and give it to the judge to release. Then you go to the judge, and judge from Florida says, no, we're not going to release. Do you like back and forth? In the interim, not a good week for Columbia University. $220 million. Wow. They have to pay up.
Holla.
220.
all the money.
They got to pay up, okay? And that's a massive victory for the people who were going against Columbia. And guess who's sitting there on the sideline saying, oh, my God, I think we got away with it. But then Tom told me this morning, Marco Rubio says, Harvard, you're next. Don't think for a second you're done. And then at the same time, somebody else had to pay $36 million. I think that's the CBS one. So now you have CBS having to pay the president $36 million for the edited interview of Kamala Harris. And President Trump flaunts a new capital gains tax break that could send the market skyrocketing with capital gains on properties. Folks, I mean, this is some wild stuff. Obama's office responds to Trump's accusation of treason outrageous. Again, not Obama's office, because, Obama's above this. I mean, it's not like he went on his wife's podcast and he says, I don't follow anything. People ask me all the time, I didn't know. I don't follow any of that stuff.
I was out back smoking a Salem.
Yeah, of course, exactly. You wouldn't follow any of that stuff. But Tulsi Gabbard says Obama and propaganda media deflect from one important fact on Russia collusion narrative. Trump announces massive trade agreement with Japan, causing 3 Detroit automakers to be concerned about the Japan trade deal because Japan, Auto, Toyota, wait a minute, what are we doing with those guys? So we'll address that. Trump revives push for Japan to increase U.S.-made car imports. In Jacksonville, Florida, police investigating viral video showing officer punching driver in the face. And let me tell you something. I watched a video today. His stepdad was talking, saying, I remember when I was 22 years old, and I watched the video, and it hurted. And he was kind of going, that when he went through it, the only thing that stuck with me was it hurted.
I was just going to say, did he use the actual word hurted?
And I went in the comment section. I saw everybody put, it hurted. But is that proper? Is it proper to say it hurted?
No, it hurt.
Finny, it's hurted. Don't do this again. You're going to take us back to that one skit with Conan O'Brien and that girl, Ben Affleck's ex-wife, that came and said, you went to Harvard. You should know this word. And he takes out the dictionary.
Yeah, he goes, actually, you're wrong. Oh, I love that.
Wrong.
Jennifer Gardner? Was it her?
Yeah, it was Jennifer Gardner. So, all right. By the way, California, the $20 minimum wage idea that they had, which was brilliant. Let's just raise the minimum wage. Let's just raise the minimum wage. That led to 20,000 job loss. Okay? Let's take minimum wage to $50. How about we do that, okay? And see what that does to it.
Cause, meet, effect.
Exactly. Home price hits record high in June, dragging down sales. SpaceX warns investors Elon Musk could return to U.S. politics, so don't forget about it. Besant backs Fed's independence on rates amid Trump's criticism, meaning, hey, we let's not kind of get too crazy here. Let's keep it separate, but I do think we have to do something with the rates, but we do need to keep it separate. We talk about the Macron lawsuit. Top DOJ official plans to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell about Epstein case as House panel pursues subpoena. Jon Stewart slammed CBS for decision to cancel The Late Show. with Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert declares himself a martyr and warns the gloves are off.
Were they ever on?
In searing response to Trump. Now, you have to realize, folks, Stephen Colbert's a pretty intimidating guy. I mean, let's not get it twisted.
Yeah, he'll
I mean, not John Jones.
he'll email the hell out
Not
of you.
Rampage
Yeah.
Jackson. Not Mike Tyson.
Not a game.
Not
a game.
Not Fury.
Talking about practice.
Not these guys. Not any of these, fighters. Not George St. Pierre, but Colbert. When he puts a threat out there, folks, some scary stuff, man. I mean, the only person scarier than him is Brian Stelter, who really wants you to believe that the late night host losing CBS millions was fired because of Trump. It's all Trump's fault. Remember back in the days, thank you, Obama. Now it's thank you, Trump.
Exactly.
But that's kind of comes with the territory. You got to take it. So it's an interesting story in New York Post. Putin knew Hillary Clinton had physical, psycho-emotional problems, but kept it quiet during the 2016 campaign, says Gabbard, a New York Post story. Now you have to see what she was taking. Very interesting stuff. Tim Dillon had dinner with J.D. Vance, and he, shared something that happened with the dinner, which is kind of weird, but we'll talk about it. Tim Dillon, funny guy, very good at what he does, loved by many, millions. Love that guy. But let's get right into the podcast. Folks, you know what's back? A fun fact about Tom Ellsworth that you all need to know about? Tom, how many Yetis do you have in your kitchen?
I believe I have about 30 of these Yetis.
Tom has 30 Yetis. Question is, how many Yetis do you have in your kitchen, right? How competitive are you?
Can you keep up?
Can you keep up? So guess what? The Yetis are back. Rob, if you want to put it up and play the video. We have the pink ones for the ladies. Fellas, go buy your wife the pink or the white one. Press play, Rob, and you can lower the audio a little bit, but you got the white ones. The Future Looks Bright with the Vitamin logo. You got the blue, fellas, black. Future Looks Bright. Takes it to your office. You got the small ones, the big ones. All of them. So if you're somebody that drinks a lot of coffee, or you drink a lot of tea, or you drink a lot of protein, whatever it may be, or you're Adam, you are somebody that's constantly, what does Adam do with his bottle of water? He's always with his
Blowing
voice.
it.
He does the bubble
He
thing.
does the bubble thing for his voice.
That's why I got the pink Yeti.
But you know what we
Yeah.
have, ladies and gentlemen? Pay attention here. These are the taper bottoms that fit in all cars.
Yeah, I
See the
love
taper
these.
bottom? Don't have to worry about it. Regardless of car you have, it fits in a cup holder in the
Here's
front.
what I'm going to do right now.
And look at
There it
this.
is.
The pink and the white one. You know what?
Went in there.
Bigger, better.
L'chaim, PBD.
L'chaim.
And
Yeah.
Pat, the pink and the white one?
Yeah.
Bigger, better insulated than the Stanley. Your wife will love these better than Stanley's.
Again, remember, when we do these guys, we don't do a big order, okay? We even have the one Yeti all the way at the bottom for dogs, okay? The Yeti pole. Okay, can you imagine your dog's even going to be optimistic about the future, guys, if you get this form. So go place your order. We want 1 million Future Looks Bright pieces all over the world. And if you support the brand, go support Future Looks Bright. Get yourself a Yeti, and while you're there, maybe pick up a hat or two for yourself as well. All right, let's get right into it. Rob, first story. What is the audience saying they want us to go with the first story? Did we do the poll?
Oh, we did. Right now, 42% of the audience wants to hear about Obama being guilty of treason.
Okay. All right. So, Obama, you asked for it. We're coming to you first. So, Obama office responds to Trump's accusation of treason. Outrageous. Let me read this to you. And Thomas Ellsworth, I'm coming to you first. So, please be prepared with all your notes.
Ready.
Obama's office spokesperson, Patrick Rodenbush, great first name, rejected the office of the Director of National Intelligence. Reports claim that senior Obama administration officials orchestrated the Russia collusion hoax, stating, out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response. And he called the allegations outrageous and ridiculous, a weak attempt of distraction. He said, nothing in the document issues last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 election but did not successfully manipulate any votes. The ODNI report released by Tulsi Gabbard on Friday found overwhelming evidence that after Trump won in 2016 election against Hillary Clinton, President Obama and his national security cabinet members manufactured and politicized intelligence to lay groundwork for a years-long coup against Trump. Tom, what's your thoughts on the story?
So there are three things hiding in plain sight here. The first that's hiding in plain sight was that Obama was nowhere in sight. He didn't come to a podium. He didn't do one of those impromptu interviews. The media that follows him around where he goes for his foundation or things he does didn't come up behind him. He didn't go on the podcast with his wife where he was talking about young men and things and needing gay friends a week ago to come back and says, I don't need any of this crap. No, nothing. Obama was silent. Why is Obama silent? Ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen.
He's above this.
Or maybe he's deep in it. Maybe he's not above it. He's deep in it. And so he sends a spokesperson, Patrick Rodenbush, which is what Obama doesn't do. He's never riding Bush, is got an issue here.
What was that about?
Now he goes, the office of the presidency and the office. So they're speaking in third person. Whenever you have people in Washington that are cornered, they speak in third person. I think this issue is not something that will be dignified by a statement. Now, I'm not even making a statement. See, I'm referring to the issue in third person. So Obama is his office, from the office of Obama. And then if it hits the fan, what do those politicians always do? Well, that statement from my office may have been premature. So now it's a statement by your office. It's not you. And then lastly, in plain sight, Vinny, look at these words. Nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion. Hang on. Now they're going to state the widely accepted conclusion. Russia worked to influence the 2016 election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. Wait a minute. That wasn't the conclusion. The conclusions the Dems say wasn't that Russia worked to influence it, but did not successfully vote. They said this is an illegitimate president in 2016. They worked to influence votes. So now they're restating it. So whenever you don't want to answer the question, restate the question. Were you home by 11 o'clock last night, Tom? Dad, you always tell me to be home by midnight. I don't know what the problem is here. Did I answer the question?
No, you didn't.
No, I restated it. I restated it as if I'm trying to, talk to my dad and be cool. And I said, son, that wasn't the question. Were you home by 11 p.m. last night? Dad, I don't know why this is a question. That's how politicians work. So all in here, this is here. And you want to know why this is happening? Myself and many other people think this is happening, Pat, because the treason word was used, and that diagram presented by Tulsi Gabbard had what they don't like, backup and evidence.
By the way, here's Tulsi. If you want to play the clip of Tulsi Gabbard while she's talking about this entire issue. Is this the one, Rob, from the clip?
So I have two. Yes, this is her announcing some of the indictments against Obama, and then I also have her talking about the media being complicit in the Russiagate hoax.
Go for it.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. At President Trump's direction and with the support and coordination with the House Intelligence Committee Chairman Rick Crawford, today we've released a declassified oversight majority staff report that was produced in September of 2020. The stunning revelations that we are releasing today should be of concern to every American. This is not about Democrats or Republicans. This has to do with the integrity of our democratic republic and American voters having faith that the votes cast will count. There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't. The report that we released today shows in great detail how they carried this out. They manufactured findings from shoddy sources. They suppressed evidence and credible intelligence that disproved their false claims. They disobeyed traditional tradecraft intelligence community standards and withheld the truth from the American people. In doing so, they conspired to subvert the will of the American people who elected Donald Trump in that election in November of 2016. They worked with their partners in the media to promote this lie, ultimately to undermine the legitimacy of President Trump and launching what would be a years-long coup against him and his administration.
Yep.
There you go. So that's that. So this is something real that happened. If this gets proven and people see it, the question then becomes, which is where Vinny always goes to, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen to Obama. But they are saying that Obama may be asked to be subpoenaed. Okay, House Speaker Mike Johnson says Congress might subpoena Obama over Russia conspiracy. Is this it, Rob? Can you play this clip?
I think we have a responsibility to follow the truth where it leads and to do it in an unbiased fashion, to do effectively the opposite of what that other team did. They're engaged in a partisan political plot to take down their foe and the other party. We need to be about the rule of law and bringing order to the chaos and searching out the truth, because the American people are owed those answers. So we have some very bright, very capable, very strong leaders at Judiciary and Oversight.
Rob,
Chairman Jim Jordan,
He
Chairman
does.
Jamie Comer, and the other committees that would be involved. And I do expect that whether there's a special counsel appointed, which some are suggesting, and or in conjunction with the House investigations, that we will get the answers, and there will be accountability to the extent that we're able to do that, referring people to the DOJ for prosecution and any other measure that is appropriate as we begin to uncover more of the facts.
Does it get tricky at all with the former president, President Obama, looking at what his role in this is and bringing him in for some sort of deposition, potential subpoena?
Well, listen, I mean, we have no concern about that. If it's uncomfortable for him, he shouldn't have been involved in overseeing this, which is what it appears to us has happened.
Okay, so where does he say, Rob, that he's going to be?
Well, I think that was like that was just him, Pat, saying basically like, what about Obama? That's him going, well, if he's involved, then it is what it is.
But that's not how I hear it. I'm reading an article here that says Mike Johnson says that he might be subpoenaed. Okay, he might not be. Now, the reaction by the media, Rob, that Tulsi says what she says, that's the one I want to see. Go for it.
CNN shut it off, by the way.
Members of the media who were complicit in this from the very beginning, who were leaked early copies of this, or at least lines from this January 2017 Obama manufactured intelligence assessment. They printed what they were fed. People like Ellen Nakashima from the Washington Post, who, by the way, went on to win a Pulitzer Prize because for years she was so good at lying and not telling the truth to the American people that they gave her an award for it. These people are still here. Ellen Nakashima is still harassing people who work within the intelligence community, who are calling up and reporting her, using burner phones to try to ask them harassing questions.
Okay, who is this person she's talking about? Can you pull up the profile? Let's find out who she's talking about. Tom, do you know that person?
Yeah, she is a Washington Post reporter, and what she does is she basically is a regurgitator, and then she presents herself as a Washington insider. I've got all these contacts, got all this stuff going on, but she gets fed by the DNC, so she is their mouthpiece in the media. That's what she is. And they arranged for her to get a Pulitzer Prize in investigative journalism, where all she's doing is regurgitating.
I get that. Can you Google who she is?
Yep.
And just go to her Wikipedia. I want to find out who this person is. How do you say your name, Tom?
Nakashima.
Nakashima? What do you mean Nakashima? Are you being sarcastic? This is a sensitive topic, Tom. What do you mean Nakashima?
Is it really Nakashima? You better knock it off, Tom. Nakashima before I knock it off.
Here it is.
Ellen Nakashima.
Okay, go to Ellen Nakashima.
Let's go look where she went to school, ladies and gentlemen.
Could I guess? Harvard?
A little bit.
Harvard?
WAPO,
Berkeley.
Pulitzer.
Berkeley!
It doesn't get worse than that. So she went to Berkeley, London, University of Berkeley for journalism, London. She began her journalism career at Hartford Courant and in Quincy Patriot Ledger before joining WAPO as a reporter in 1990. She was a White House reporter since South Asia. She won a series of awards. Okay.
Covering national security since 2009.
One of the ones that was guest invited to state dinner hosted by U.S. President Joe Biden in honor of Prime Minister Fumio Kishida at the White House. Okay. So that's what our friend...
she's a Washington insider.
Yeah, that's what our friend Tulsi's talking about on
Insider.
information that's going on. Now, listen, as this is going, is this a method of overshadowing something else that may be taking place? Because just yesterday, when it comes down to the Epstein story, let me go to that. So we were told that they're going to ask a judge to do what? To release the files and let the people see the files, right? Is that what they promised us, Tom?
Yep, called unsealing testimony.
Perfect. And then what happens when we're told that? Judge denies request to unseal Epstein grand jury transcripts in Florida. So why would he do that? Why would this judge do that? Okay. Federal judge in Florida, Judge Robin Rosenberg, denied the Trump administration's request on Wednesday to unseal grand jury transcripts. Rob, it says you have a video here from 2005 to 2007 investigation into the Epstein, citing the Justice Department's concession that laws on criminal procedure generally forbid unsealing grand jury testimony except in narrow circumstances, stating in her 12-page order, the court's hands are tied, and Justice Department requests driven by special circumstances and historical interest by the public aim to bolster claims that it had left no stone unturned, and noting since July 6, 2025, there has been extensive public interest on the basis for the memorandum conclusions. The decision frustrates the administration's efforts to address the pressure from the right-wing supporters demanding more Epstein-related disclosures. Is this the clip, Rob, about...
Yes, this is Caroline Levitt was asked if the Trump administration is going to appeal the judge's ruling.
Go for it.
A Florida federal judge has refused to allow the Epstein Grand Jury materials to be released. Does the president want the administration or Department of Justice to appeal that ruling?
That was just breaking as the director and I were coming out here, so I haven't had a chance to talk to the president about it. I understand there are 2 other requests from the Department of Justice that are ongoing, but I'll let this president speak to whether he wants to see an appeal in the Department of Justice. I'm sure can give you a statement on that as well.
And is he supportive of the effort to talk to Ghislaine Maxwell? I know that Todd Blanchard mentioned that earlier this week.
The president spoke to this yesterday, and he said he thinks it's an appropriate idea.
You know, obviously the developments with the Epstein case with the judge, but I wonder, has the White House counsel, the DOJ explored any other documents that could be released to the public that don't have to do with that grand jury testimony?
To my knowledge, the Department of Justice has moved forward with the request to unseal that grand jury testimony, and as you know, they have also moved forward with interviewing Ms. Maxwell, which I believe will be taking place very soon.
I feel bad for Caroline Levitt because she has no clue what's going on, meaning she has to get out there and sort of put on the charade as if she's involved. She has to sort of...
Well, I'm pretty sure she's
vocalize
she's
with the
brief.
Let's stay on the topic here.
Okay.
So instead of you being concerned for her, she's
We all
married,
are.
bro. So,
We all are.
all right, Roy Black, legendary defense attorney for Epstein, Justin Bieber, and Kennedy family, dies at 80. So Epstein's former lawyer just died. Obviously, he's 80 years old, but the story that comes out. At the same time, you know, you hear some other stories releasing. That Bill Clinton wrote a letter also to Epstein for his 50th Daily Mail drops. Warm and gushing letter to Epstein as Trump sues over claim. He also wrote a body note of pedophile half-century. This is Daily Mail story. And then on top of that, while this is going on, House panel votes to subpoena Bill and Hillary Clinton over possible links to Ghislaine Maxwell. All of these stories with Epstein are coming out. A lot of people are quiet about it. And then a BBC story drops. I don't know if you saw this BBC story that just dropped. White House pushes back after reports that Trump is named in the Epstein files. Did you see this one, Vinny?
I did not. I did not.
So this is from BBC. White House, through spokesman Stephen Chung, dismissed reports that President Trump was informed in May by Attorney General Pam Bondi that the names appeared in the documents as fake news story, with Chung stating nothing more than a constitution of the fake news story concocted by the Democrats and the liberal media. Just like the Obama Russiagate scandal with President Trump was right about, the Wall Street Journal reported Bondi told Trump during a routine briefing that the files contained hearsay about many people, including Trump, but being named is not evidence of wrongdoing. FBI Director Kash Patel, the criminal leakers and fake news media tries tirelessly to undermine President Trump with smears and lies, but the story is no different. Vinny, your thoughts with the story on what's going on here?
The more and more they're trying to like distract us and put us over here and look over here. Listen, I hate to even say it, but maybe, just maybe, Elon Musk was right. Maybe Elon was right. What was it in June? He tweeted out of nowhere, Trump doesn't want it released because Trump is on that list or whatever. By the way, and again, this doesn't mean he did anything. He admitted, yeah, I knew him. Yeah, whatever. There's footage of him. There's footage of you hanging out with him, with Melania, with whatever person he was with. That's okay. Back then, everybody was hanging out. Everybody was chilling. You just don't want your name involved. This is the worst. You nailed it. The worst fumble. Just say, yes, I was around him. We were in Manhattan. We were all rich. We're all doing it. I didn't know what the hell to the extent of what he was doing. And once he got convicted for pedophilia, that's when I broke everything off. Just because your name is in there doesn't mean you're guilty. Okay, and I think that's what they're trying to freaking cover up. Because and Pat, not to go backwards if you don't mind, the Barack thing, the Barack Obama, I think it's a distraction. But the same token, why is everybody pissed off? Everybody in the View and everybody's mad. Oh, how dare you go after an ex-president? He's not untouchable. Look at the precedent they set with Trump, with everything that they did with Trump, Pat, from trying to arrest him for 100 years, from Mar-a-Lago, this and all that shit. They shot him in the freaking head, and that no ex-president is untouchable. Okay, I can show you the mugshot of Donald Trump, okay? And then think about this. He tried to, Obama and them, if it's all factual, they tried to overthrow the government. We picked who we picked. We picked Trump, and they tried to undermine him. He used the FBI. He used the CIA, Pat. You know what they should have? Have a public trial. I don't give this Epstein stuff. Okay, have a public trial. Okay, and if he's guilty, put Obama's ass in jail for the rest of his freaking life. Okay, because people need to know, Pat, if this happens again and somebody comes in, they can look back and go, "Oh shit, let's not do it because Obama's in jail for this shit." And then we wonder why the trust for the government is at an all-time low, okay? It's at the worst it could possibly be. You want to gain it back? Then hold these people accountable. Put them on trial, and if they're guilty, put their ass in jail. The Epstein thing, I think, is the biggest freaking fumble, period. Remember, Adam, when we first started talking about this, 2 weeks ago? It's like, yeah, only losers, only whatever. Look where we are. It's the top of the news every single day. It's about this because it seems to me that they're covering it up. Something isn't right. And I keep going back to the children. We always worry about the people involved. It's the kids. And did you see this, Pat, Tom?
What's this?
Did you guys see this? This is a deposition where he's asked if Epstein had a personal relationship with Trump, and they say something about underage 18-year-old girls. And you tell me how you take away from this clip. Go ahead, Rob.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with him?
Okay, so now, have you ever been around him with under 18? He grins, he smiles, and he goes, I wish I could, but I can't under the 5th Amendment. Like if this is a video, let's just say that Trump is worried about coming out. I mean, it's going to come out. That could just mean, I wish I could just say, no, he had nothing to do with anything, but my lawyer has directed me, Tom, everything has to be pled the 5th.
So I'll tell you,
Go ahead.
Epstein is a scumbag.
100%.
We have all the things, and he got a sweetheart deal in Florida. But let's set that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
There were 22 victims. There was, several charges, and then it got reduced, and he was given a minor charge of solicitation. That really happened. Epstein was a scumbag. Everybody agrees. But when you look at this, Vinny, I'm not defending him. I'm pointing out is how these processes work.
Yeah.
The reason he says no is if I say, no, I never did, they then in court find one picture of you and a girl that's under 18 that could be somebody else's daughter that was at the same party, and therefore you were socializing with Donald Trump with the girl under 18.
Yeah.
So you end up, whenever you're getting these narrow questions with a grand jury or a voluntary federal deposition, and I think this was the latter, people always take the 5th through it, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, Your Honor, given that, I'd like to enter this into evidence and to bring this into court. So then the district attorney says, well, he denied all this. You're saying all this is true. You've got all these pieces of evidence. Okay, I guess we're going to court here. That's how this thing works. So this doesn't presume guilt on either side. This is how the process works. If you were deposed, Vinny, on something like this, your lawyer would be telling you, Vinny, just take the 5th, take the 5th, take the 5th. Make them go into court and produce the witness that you bought the keg with your credit card to a party and you had underage cousins and people that were there and somebody got drunk and got hurt. They would tell you the same thing. Mm-hmm. That's the process. I am not saying that Jeffrey Epstein is not a raging scumbag. Or was.
Yeah.
The late.
Yeah.
Adam. So Russia, Epstein. Russia is Epstein. Epstein is Russia, in my opinion.
Finkel is Einhorn.
Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. That's what's going on here.
Got you.
Because there's a lot of similarities here. I'm not sure if you intentionally put these stories together, because I actually think there's a lot of synergy in what's happening here. Do you remember in 2016 what was happening. They're having these meetings. Russia, it's Russiagate. Stand by on the next episode of Russiagate. We were all glued to our TV, and admittedly, I fell for it. I'm like, this guy is a Putin puppet. The media said it. It must be true. Turns out the media will lie. We all understand that.
Tonight, the Steele dossier, this reporter has seen.
Yeah. So Trump was out there. It's fake news. It's a hoax. It's a witch hunt. Everyone's like, okay, Donald, sure, buddy. Putin puppet. Turns out Donald Trump was telling the absolute truth and nothing but the truth. But the media ran with it. Russia did try to interfere in the election. True. Trump campaign conspired with Russia. False. Paul Manafort. Remember we had Paul Manafort on the podcast? This was in the height of Adam's lunacy. I was like, this piece of shit, Paul Manafort. I'm going to expose. He came on here. I was like, what a guy. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Lobbyist. And that was like sort of the snowball effect. I was like, you know what? Maybe the media lied to me about this Russia thing.
They did more than lie. Leslie Stahl had air cover from the White House where she said, Donald, this is 60 Minutes.
Okay, Leslie Stahl. Yeah. She's the
as
one
if
who was,
she was speaking like a judge on the
if she
federal
has the higher
district
ground
court.
here.
Right, yeah.
We know that the FBI had their own sort of agenda and they were seriously flawed. We know that the media got this story and completely ran with it, divided the country. Robert Mueller, he didn't say one frickin' word. There's a lot of correlation what's going on with Epstein with Russia. We don't know what's true. We don't know what's false. We know that Donald Trump did hang out with Epstein. This isn't even a question.
I see the videos, yeah.
There's pictures of them hanging out.
Yeah.
Just because you've hung out with somebody and you were named in some sort of lawsuit.
Yeah.
Buddy, I've hung out with Andrew Tate dozens of times. That doesn't mean I was sex trafficking women. That doesn't even mean that he was sex trafficking women. So we don't know what's true, what's false, what's media, what's a plant. This is why when our friend Sean Hannity came on, he said, listen, I'm just going to kind of sit back, relax, wait for the facts to play out. That's kind of where I'm at with this. I don't get embroiled in every single media story.
But Adam, don't you, and I'm mean truth, but you're my brother. I love you to death. I want to know. I
hate you.
Don't you want accountability? Meaning,
course,
Adam,
Vinny, we all do.
No,
Yes.
Adam, I disagree. Not a lot of these people, no, they don't. Because Barack was this savior, the yes we can, the BS artist. Okay,
Hope.
What they did. People want to talk about January 6th. To hell with January 6th. These people were like, he won. Let's create this fake story. So, Hillary, go pay for this fake dossier and push it to the Department of Justice and what? To overthrow the government, to defy the will of the people, Adam. So when I say accountability, and I get what Sean Hannity was saying, it's going to take some time. Be patient. We've been patient from before JFK. Go to those people. You know what they told those people too? Be patient. Cut to 2025, Adam. Cut to 2025. They're still like, here are 10 more documents that don't say shit.
We're still waiting.
And
We're still
again,
waiting on
it's
JFK.
Adam. And I'll start with the Russia thing. How much shit did me, Adam, dude? My career, my friend, I've lost friends because they're like, you're with the Russia asset, Putin, blah 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 blah. So zero accountability for that. And when it comes to Epstein, not one famous, high-ranking pedophile scumbag is going to be dragged in front of the courts so we could see them. I want to see them. Why the hell was he going to the White House 17 times to see Bill Clinton? Explain that to me. What are they talking about? And when you walk into his house...
Let me ask you, what do you think they were talking about?
Adam, he flew to his... he was on the airplane.
But go there for a second. The Epstein-Clinton thing.
Okay,
what do you think actually happened
Me personally... Probably some money-moving stuff. Probably some because by the way, if you saw the interview with Daryl Cooper with Tucker, say what you want about Epstein. He was very good at being a piece of you-know-what. Moving money, offshore accounts, probably some money stuff with the Clinton Foundation, which I think he was attached. And then Adam, maybe some girl
that's
stuff.
What money managers do.
But you ready for this? Adam, I believe Vincent Oshana believes that it was some, hey, listen, when you come to the island this time, I got you. I know how you like them and blah, blah. When you walk into his apartment in Manhattan, why is there a picture of him in a blue dress pointing right when you walk in.
Do you think
that means I got you?
Is there any
homie.
evidence that Jeffrey Epstein donated to the Clinton campaign?
Is there? I think there's a connection with him, with either Lex Wexner and him, whatever it is.
Well, I'm just saying that a lot of
yeah.
times these big donors, what do they call them, mega donors, get preferential treatment.
Rob, if you could just look up what's their connection, what's Epstein's connection to Bill Clinton and the foundation?
Tom, what do you call it?
They're
because at the end of the
large bundlers. They call them bundlers.
And bundlers are what exactly?
Bundlers are people that know a lot of people who know a lot of people. So I work with 5 high-end people that each of them is taking money from, say, 10 millionaires. And so now that's 50 people represented by those 10 and then represented by me. So you create a paper trail that is hard to follow. And then all that money goes into a PAC very legally, but then nobody knows who got the money into the PAC. But now the PAC goes to do the will of the DNC. That is one of the flaws in the campaign finance, which is what people ask for campaign finance reform, eliminated the bundle.
Rob ChatGPT, Pat, about his. Well, what was the question that you put in?
The question was, what are Jeffrey Epstein's connections to the Clinton Foundation? And here's what it gave.
Several points of connection from the Finance Clinton
financed his
funding.
travel.
Go to number 2, Robbie. He helped conceive the Clinton Global Initiative, gave donations. So he besides what they were talking about him, and I'm not one of those.
So maybe, let me hear me out.
Go ahead.
We talk about signal and noise. Maybe the cornerstone of their relationship, we're talking about Clinton and Epstein for a second, maybe the cornerstone of the relationship was genuinely political, and financial.
Yeah, but that stuff didn't happen until
this happened
2002, and he visited the White House 17 times between 93 and 95.
So that's a lot.
Hear me out. The foundation of their relationship was probably business, political money. And then there's ancillary stuff. Hey, by the way, when you come to the island, we're going to have a little party, we're going to have a little fun, and then little things like that happen. So like there's like the meat, right? Yeah. And then there's the steak, and then there's the sizzle.
Of course.
So the genuine steak was there was a business transactional relationship.
Yeah.
And then there's some ancillary stuff.
And you ready for this
on.
though? And just off of history, Bill Clinton has been accused of sexual assault. Juanita Broderick said he attacked her in a freaking hotel room and ripped her lip off. Don't forget about his actions with Monica Lewinsky. Hold on, which was all consensual.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Adam, that's the type of guy that you want to do business with, and then bring him to your island and then record him doing shit so you could have dirt
Allegedly.
on him. Allegedly. That's all allegedly.
Let me say one thing about Clinton. And I was a Clinton fan. I think you even voted for Clinton your first time, no?
I would have if I was
Clinton,
voting.
I think, was a great president. Meaning, as far as the numbers and the deficit and what basically where the country was in the 90s. But hear me out for a second. Everyone wants to go immediately like, because Bill Clinton got a blowjob from Monica Lewinsky, he's obviously a child sex trafficker. He's obviously likes underage women. I'm not there. I think Clinton, especially if you're married to Hillary, probably like to step out a little bit. Blow off a little steam. Not have to look at Hillary every single day, and maybe had some fun with extracurricular activity with ladies at Epstein Island or wherever. That doesn't mean that they were underage women, though. That's the problem I have. People are like, well, Clinton obviously likes underage women. It's like, what evidence do you have of that? There's a ton of evidence that he likes normal women, but no evidence that he likes underage women. And that's where things get so caught up in the gray area. It's like, where do we just go from
Virginia
he cheated on
Giuffre was
Hillary
underage.
to underage women?
Guys, we could go back and forth on this. The question is, and it's an honest question all America is asking. You said, okay, well, why don't we just have them unseal the records? And then suddenly a judge, a district judge, and I think there's 94, I believe it's 94 districts in the United States, and 13 circuit courts, also known as Court of Appeals. And the circuit courts, the 13 circuit courts, have the balls. They have the clout. And so you take one of these district judges from the Southern District of Florida, I think it is, District 2, and saying, I'm not going to unseal that. It's, wait a minute, this was coming from the federal government, coming from cabinet, saying, let's unseal it. And then a district judge says, no, we're going to leave it sealed.
Is this who didn't do it?
Yes, sir.
This is her.
She was appointed by Obama.
Yep.
Weird.
Yeah, but
go
Pat,
a little bit lower.
But you see my point, Pat? This is a mid-level federal judge, and the Circuit Court of Appeals is above that. So it's like, wait a minute. Why do you have now district judge are real judges, but she's not like a Supreme Court justice?
You see what it says on the bottom, Pat? She declined to release additional grand jury documents.
We just read that earlier.
Okay.
That's what we were reading.
And by the way, she's married to Florida State Attorney for Palm Beach County, Michael McAuliffe. Was he part of the Palm Beach County group?
Tom, we read that earlier, bro.
That sent everything up?
Rob, can you click on who Michael McAuliffe is?
Yes, sir.
Go to that one. Adam, stay with us.
I'm right here with you, Pat.
Is he connected to the Palm Beach crew that sent
what's his
all the
background?
Epstein case up to the federal?
Can you type that in ChatGPT, see who he is?
Where are you at with all this, Pat?
Hang on. Let me just kind of go through this background with Michael. So this just totally...
It's so weird.
He's a prosecutor for 30 years. Southern District, Florida attorney handling high-profile criminal honors in terms of...
Was he on any of the Epstein cases, Rob?
Prosecuted the Louisiana KKK Grand Dragon for hate crimes. Staged in the Palm Beach 2018. Led 125 prosecutions. Can you put in, is there any link between him and Epstein? Any link between him and Epstein? Any link between him?
They were college roommates.
Let's see what comes up.
He was the state prosecutor for Palm Beach County in 2008 when Epstein was.
So he was the prosecutor.
There's no documented personal connection. The only mention of McAuliffe is Epstein-related material appears in 2010 reference. Epstein's lawyer, Jack Goldberger, reportedly asked McAuliffe, then a state attorney, to drop certain charges, but this request doesn't indicate any deeper relationship or involvement. Moreover, there's no indication that McAuliffe ever assisted Epstein. Can you ask the same question on...
Wow.
Why were they asking him? So why was Epstein's lawyer asking him? Because he was on the team.
Hang on 1 second. Ask Grok the same exact question. Is there any connection between McAuliffe and Epstein?
Rob, you're so fast, Rob.
Zoom in a little bit for us 40-year-olds.
47. I'm 47.
39.
Let's see what it says. Jefferson with a notorious financier. No, I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, come on, Grok.
What is all this Hitler answer? Come on, Grok.
Come on, Grok.
Is it really taking this long, Rob?
Yeah, Grok, Super Grok takes a little bit longer for some
there
reason.
it is.
There it is.
Yes, there is a professional connection between them. Palm Beach, stemming from McAuliffe oversight of Epstein case in the year of 2008 plea deal. However, there's no publicly available evidence, friendship, financial ties on this. So Jeffrey Epstein, financier, convicted. Okay, Michael McAuliffe, go a little bit lower up, succeeding. McAuliffe had previously was stated McAuliffe involvement after the Epstein plea deal during Epstein's probation and house arrest period, which later lasted till 2010. Key events included Epstein's attorney, Jack Goldberg, requested that we already read that probation and release him from house arrest early. That request was denied. An email from Assistant Attorney Barbara Burns to McAuliffe described the situation as this dragon just keeps raising its ugly head and emphasized that Epstein was a registered sex offender that was fortunate to get a deal of the century. Burns further noted that Epstein's team was pushing for leniency, but the office stood against it. McAuliffe's office was responsible for enforcing the terms of Epstein's supervision release, including decisions on his travel and work privileges. While McAuliffe did not negotiate the original 2008 deal, he inherited and managed its aftermath, the professional link that draws. Okay, so then he's married, particularly due to McAuliffe's marriage to Judge Rosenberg. In July, Rosenberg requested a grand jury transcript 2004, citing issues social media in some reports alleged conflict, pointing that McAuliffe's prior role in the case and suggesting this is very interesting.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
It could influence decisions to keep records sealed.
Okay.
Weird.
So then if that's the case, so go back to that lady's Wikipedia, if you don't mind.
Sure.
You just had it a minute ago. Yeah, if you can go to hers. Huh. So she's appointed by Obama. Okay. She assumed office in 2014, which is the last 2 years of Obama. Mm-hmm. She's a Duke University person.
J.D. Duke, undergrad, Princeton.
Yeah. So if you're appointed by Obama and you don't want to release it, you're definitely not releasing it because you're trying to protect Trump. So why wouldn't you release it? And the conflict of interest with your husband, prior links to it? Very interesting. This is very interesting to me on why that's happening.
And it all leads back to, it's all Florida. It all goes back to Florida where this guy got a pedophile got a sweetheart
Florida didn't give
deal.
him the sweetheart deal. When it was sent to I believe, the Southern District of New York, the Southern District allegedly was told, hey, this guy belongs to intelligence, and they reduced it to one charge of solicitation.
But it all stems from Florida, correct?
Well, Florida did the work, and then the federal government says, hey, let me take care of that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when the FBI walks in on a local crime and says, hey, we'll take this over now.
It's ours.
And the local sheriff says, we're perfectly capable of investigating.
Who said that he was an intelligence asset?
Alex Acosta.
Did they say FBI? Because I think Lord Loomer mentioned FBI.
They said he belonged to intelligence, and I was told not to touch him, to leave him alone.
But I think they specifically said FBI. Did they not? Didn't Laura Loomer make that?
No.
Alex
Acosta said
Acosta is the one that said it.
Yeah, and then when he was questioned, he goes, "I never said it." It's like, come on, bro.
Well, he said he did remember saying it, but he didn't know who told him that Jeffrey Epstein was.
It was
the old telephone.
It was a guy in a shadow with a hat in the dark.
Listen, let's move on. Obviously, again, two things. The more and more they keep coming back to these types of things, believe it or not, the more they're making it worse because they're not making it go away. So either say we're done with this, we're not coming back, or two, if you're claiming that you want this stuff to be leaked, do it ASAP and address it. But it keeps, like every week, how many weeks have we've been going through Epstein?
Almost 3.
Every week we want to go through different stories. This thing reappears. Well, they said they're going to release him. The judge said no. Well, they said there's no. No. Versus like, hey, do something, make a decision, or just say you don't want this thing to be leaked. But one of the two decisions.
We aren't
need to
keeping
be
it
made.
open, Pat. We're reacting
for sure.
to the news waves.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Our
it's the
listeners
best
want
show on TV right now. I mean, the Epstein files.
And now Epstein's lawyer is
renewing
dead.
for season 20.
Vinny, Epstein's lawyer died.
Yeah.
You know how he died?
Huh.
He drowned paddleboarding with Hillary Clinton after committing suicide by hanging on a palm tree at that same beach after he was shot.
Oh.
He was also 80-something years old.
It's a joke, everybody.
Tom's telling a
He was
joke.
also 80 years old.
It's not even allegedly.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Okay, I bought Tom dad jokes, 3 of them on his birthday, and this was not in the book.
Yeah, no,
that was an original for Tom.
Great gift, bad decision.
Yeah, great gift, bad decision. I agree. All right, let's go talk about a state that we should constantly give proper recognition to. Let's talk about the #1 state in unemployment, in homelessness, highest in taxes, and the one that keeps coming up with bad ideas.
Here, get the trophy ready.
California's $20 fast food minimum wage that they came up with, that everyone's like, oh my God, revolutionary. If California can do it, so can you. Well, before you try to be California with this $20 an hour minimum wage idea, watch these numbers closely. The $20 fast food minimum wage led to 18,000 fewer jobs.
Weird.
A National Bureau of Economic Research paper reported that California's $20 an hour minimum wage, enacted in September of 2023, effective in April of 2024, led to 2.7% employment decline. That's a big number. In the fast food sector compared to other U.S. regions, with a median estimate of 18,000 jobs lost relative to counterfactual. Adjusting for pre-AB 1228 trends, the decline increases to 3.2%. The Employment Policies Institute estimated non-tipped restaurant workers lost 250 hours annually, equating to $4,000 in lost income or 7 weeks of work per employee. California Globe reported that thousands of fast food jobs were shed in anticipation of higher costs, including 1,200 drivers at Pizza Hut. 1,200 drivers just at Pizza Hut. Holy moly. After the law took effect, restaurant automated to avoid higher wages, with some closing entirely. Stanford University data indicated over 10,000 fast food jobs were lost by June of 2024. It's a year ago. Despite the governor's office claimed job increase, a claim contradicted by federal data by the fall, California Gavin Newsom signed and defended the minimum wage law. Tom.
So guess what? Cause, meet, effect. So I take you back to New York City. Was it Michael Bloomberg that said fast food workers in New York City were going to get like $15 an hour? This goes back, Rob. This goes back a little while, several years. If we could find it really, 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 really fast. So Michael Bloomberg comes out and says, okay, minimum wage has to go up in New York, and it has to go up for fast food workers. You know, fast food workers have to get a minimum, a living wage. Really? 16-year-old kid flipping burgers part-time after school needs by law to have a living wage? Are you kidding me? So anyway, guess what that led to? Kiosks.
Oh, he's
kiosks.
The guy?
So suddenly you went into McDonald's. You ever been to McDonald's and
It's
just
a robot.
go,
It's a
and just
machine.
you go up to the wall. It's like a kiosk. And by the way, it's the same thing that happens. And everybody was screaming 20 years ago when Southwest Airlines was one of the first to put kiosks in airports. Wait, what about the workers? To all of us who used to fly planes, what about the damn lines?
Yeah, exactly.
This is easier. I like this. So guess what's happened? California puts in this, and guess what? You have cause and effect. Combination of Pizza Hut, some of them said we can't even operate. So group one, Pizza Hut, we can't even operate. We're closing some of them. And we also, and thanks to crime in Oakland, everyone closed all of them, right? Then you would now have all of these other people where the decision in New York that led to the kiosks getting into McDonald's, this accelerates adoption of kiosks. This accelerates automated food handling back on the grill. That's what this does. Because capitalists go, if I'm going to be forced to take these workers and go to $20, I'm not, my cost structures aren't made for that. And by the way, if property taxes are going on, what is that Pizza Hut sitting on? California dirt that has California property tax. So you start adding it all up, and suddenly, if you're just looking for votes, you put the $20 minimum wage out there. But if you're looking for burgers, that's not what you want to do, because pretty soon burgers are harder to find because they're closing. That's what's happening here. And you're also seeing faster adoption of kiosks, like when New York City came out and said, Michael Bloomberg, presidential candidate 2020, supported $15 an hour minimum wage, but his stance on minimum wage has evolved over time because donors that said, hey man, I own 10 McDonald's. You're not going to see a penny in your election fund, shorty, unless we can do something about this minimum wage. It's hurting me. And so that's what happened. But the kiosk accelerated in McDonald's after New York came out and said this, because capitalists look, hey man, I'm not trying to run these kids out of my McDonald's. Whatever is the best, most cost-effective way to get burgers to the person standing there with their $10 bill, I want to do it. And if you're going to make me do minimum wage here, then I'm going to look at it and say, well, the airline's putting kiosks, maybe I'll put in kiosks. That's all that happened. And suddenly this is some evil capitalist thing, and no one's talking about the National Bureau of Economic Research. All they needed to do was to point out who was the guy that led this. So they're saying fast food leads to fewer jobs. So they're talking about fewer jobs and they're talking about this impact. Talk about the leader that has caused this. And this is Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is reduced, and he'll come out, take credit to Healthier California, because I've been slowly eradicating the scourge that is fast food on our diets. He'll take credit for it in some way.
Adam, your thoughts on this?
So minimum wage, this is a discussion I think that gets people very riled up and emotional, because this is one of those issues where emotionally I was like, pay these people more. Years ago, when I first started doing all the Save That Money content, I went down to downtown Miami. There was a Fight for 15 parade, basically, about fighting for 15. Now, it's interesting, the conversation has shifted to the fight for 20. And I felt so bad for these fast food workers. They're the people that work at the airports, the people that work, sort of the menial jobs that nobody wants to do. And I felt so bad for these people. But interestingly enough, this is what Pat always talks about, not a lot of them spoke English. I didn't see a lot of them who were looking to improve or basically saying, I'm trying to do better in my life. They just said, pay me more, pay me more, pay me more. So on the surface, you're like, oh, okay, I feel bad for these people. But when you peel back the onion, you peel back the layers, and you actually look at it from the small business perspective, which I appreciate. I've learned so much sitting next to PBD. You realize this: all these raises are just going to get passed on to the consumer as a tax, basically. So your hamburger is going to cost more. The prices to basically go out and eat at restaurants are going to cost more. The small business owner will probably cut staff or cut hours, reduce hours. You talked about automation. You talked about kiosks. There's also a ripple effect of why it leads to inflation. Because let's say you're making 20 right now, and there's people who are at 15 that are fighting for 20. And the people at 15 get the 20. You're at 20, you're this person's manager. You're going to say, all right, well, you just gave this guy 20. I want 25 now. I want 30 now. And because now this person got for their 15 to 20, now your 20 is going to go to 25. So everything is going to get inflated. And the small business owner is going to say, what the hell's going on here? They're going to pass the higher pricing on to you, or they're going to go out of business, which you've seen so many times in California. And then you had that one lady in California who said basically, fight for 15, fight for 20, I'm fighting for 50. And do some simple math. $50 an hour is $100,000 a year. So now you're flipping burgers, making 100 G's.
And a Happy Meal is a very unhappy $22.
Very true.
Very sad.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's so funny. A guy sends me a act about, well, let me tell you, here's what I'm going through, and this is what I'm doing. I'm like, read these 4 books. Yeah, but aside from reading those books, what can I do to make more money and all this? I said, go to business conferences. Yeah, but aside from going to the business conferences, and what do I need to? I want to know the real secret. I said, have better friends that offer better peer pressure to you, where you're the lowest earner out of all your friends. Never be the biggest earner. Yeah, but I want the real secret.
Excuses.
I'm like, buddy,
bro,
listen, I'm not the guy for you.
Yeah,
there's no secret.
If you want minimum wage to increase, and you're making the argument about it being unfair, how are you recreating yourself and improving yourself? What new skill set are you picking up? How are you getting better? How are you changing this mindset of it's everybody else's fault instead of you taking responsibility? What are you doing about it? I had a guy I was talking to, and he's like, man, what do I do to make more money? This guy's over 300 pounds. I said, lose 60 pounds. You're 60 pounds away from making more money. What do you mean? I said, dude, you realize your body was built to be 180.
Yeah.
You know how impossible, what you're doing is called doing the impossible. How many people whose body was built to only have 180 pounds can go around all day carrying a 120-pound dumbbell? That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
I said, you're doing the impossible. I said, it's impossible for you to compete with somebody else that's 60 pounds lighter than you. You want a career promotion? Yes, lose 60 pounds. Oh, that's harsh. No.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. Well, I'm having a hard time finding girls. Are you surprised? And you know what's always the confusing thing? It's like, hey, why doesn't she like me? Can we introduce her to me? I'm like, bro, you're 300 pounds.
Yeah.
What do you mean she doesn't like you? Well, Biggie was 300 pounds. Biggie was a rapper. Bro.
Biggie was the best rapper alive.
Oh, yeah.
Biggie was a rapper.
You broke 3 of her ribs giving her a hug.
He got. Did you see the types of girls they got?
But
Girls.
Biggie.
Yeah. No, you're not Biggie. Okay.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
You're
not.
Hughie.
Yeah. But let me listen. As much as I'm having fun with this,
Yeah, but still,
as much
it's the
as I'm
truth.
having fun with this, I'm 23 years old, $49,000 in debt. Nothing's going right in my life. Bad relationship. The girl I wanted to marry doesn't work out. And I'm by myself asking me, would you allow your future daughter to marry you? And the answer was a unanimous hell no. And then what happened? I changed. I made changes. What was the most basic change? I wouldn't stop reading business books. What was the other change? I kept going to business events. I'm talking to Tony last week, Tony Robbins. I said, Tony, I went to UPW at 21 years old, Long Beach. I went to a Tony Robbins conference at 21 years old, 25 years ago. And let me tell you what happened. I go to this event. I'm attending it, right? I'm like, oh, my God, what am I going to do? I'm going to this place. So I go. I'm at Long Beach Convention Center, and I'm sitting next to a guy. Craziest thing happens to me. I'm sitting next to a guy. So I'm trying to, why are you here? And I'm learning how to speak. So I'm kind of a little awkward. It's mechanical. It's very awkward face. I just got out of the military. It's like one of those things so it's like.
You're popping in line.
Yeah. So I sit next to this guy, and I said, so what's your outcome of being here? What brought you here? He says, man, I'm just trying to have a breakthrough, bro. I'm like, wow, that's pretty impressive. How old are you? 45 years old. How old are you? I'm 21. You're trying to have a breakthrough? Yeah, I've just hit a wall. Like, damn, now I start sympathizing with the guy. Yeah. Like, seriously, you've hit a wall? So now I'm trying to help him out. I'm like, oh, wow, it's pretty, listen, life is good. Yeah, I said, what caused you to hit the wall? It's just 3 years ago, I sold my business for $400 million. Ever since then, I've been a little bit lost. I'm like, dude, can I hit a wall? Where is that wall?
Bro,
I want to find that wall, dog. I want to hit that wall. Find that wall for me. Let me hit it. Bam! I hit the wall, right?
I need the coordinates.
Then I'm talking.
I'm looking for a wall.
So then I'm like, wow.
Jeez.
There are people that are at $400 million with a standard of you want to recreate yourself.
Wow.
That's when I realized this is a never-ending process in life. There are billionaires that are going through trying to find the next phase in their lives. And unfortunately, people that are fighting to raise minimum wage, you're being screwed. You really are. Instead, for me, what was the biggest saving grace was the books, was the relationship, and I went to 4 to 10 business conferences every single year. That 21-year-old guy is now putting a conference called Vault Conference. Nearly 12,000 people are going to be there. The keynote speakers, Tony Robbins, Martha Stewart, and David Falk, where you saw Michael Jordan negotiations, and now this is leading to us doing today. We're about to get on a plane to go to Arkansas to sit down with a couple clients that we have an engagement with. We're literally going to be with their employees. These guys we started working with them 3-4 years ago. They had a EBITDA that was making 2-3%. Right now they have an EBITDA of nearly $7 million for this first 6 months of the year.
Let's go.
Now we're going to go hang out with these guys, Morgan and Sean. We're going to have a good time with those guys when we go to Arkansas.
Healthy double-digit percent.
Healthy double, and they're it's a couple $100 million company.
Serious EBITDA.
We're going to get on the jet and we're going to go spend some time in Arkansas. I told them, I said, I can't wait to see the beach in Arkansas. It's incredible. It's beautiful. The waves when they hit the side, it's beautiful. It's just it's an incredible experience. What's the moral of the story?
What's wrong with Arkansas?
If somebody is watching this arguing for $20 minimum wage and you're seeing the consequences, the market is going to do something very simple to you. If you're not worth the money, they'll fire you. Either the customers will fire you, the company will fire you, and the market's going to say, go lie to somebody else and see if somebody hires you. And if they do, see if you'll keep the job. Half the battle is if you can keep the job. And some guys can land a good girl, but can you keep her? Some girls can land a great guy, but can you keep them long term? It's a lot of work. Maybe you are worth what you think you are. Market will say, no, you're not. If it's saying no, you're not, and you want to do something about it, or if you want to have a complete different recreation phase for yourself, breakthrough, go to the Vault conference in Orlando. Come join us. We're all going to be there. My family's going to be there. Kids are going to be there. Wife's going to be there. Everyone's going to be there. And it's exciting times that we're doing at this event. We got some special things that'll be announced at that event, but that's the $20 minimum wage argument. Oh, my God. Let's raise that 20 to a real number instead of just $20 minimum wage. By the way, watch what's happening here according to Wall Street Journal. You ready for this? Home prices hit record high in June, dragging down sales. Mm-hmm. Home prices hit record high in June, okay, dragging down sales. Let's go through this. So the national median existing home price in June rose to $435,000, a record in data going back to 1919, a 2% increase from a year earlier, while U.S. existing home sales fell 2.7% from prior month to a seasonal adjusted annual rate of 3.93 million, the slowest pace since September, according to the National Association of Realtors. Home buyers were hesitant, with unaffordable home prices and mortgage rates above 6.5%, making purchases difficult. Lawrence Yun, NAR's chief economist, said, the fact that we hit record high home prices is reflecting multiple years of undersupply. Nationally, there were 1.53 million homes for sale or under contract at the end of June, down 0.6% from May, but up 15.9% from June of 2024, with more than 1 in 4 listings on Zillow getting a price cut. That's a big number. The highest proportion for any June since at least 2018. Diane Ayala Sefi, branch manager at New American Funding in San Antonio, stated there is a lot more inventory and the demand is not that great. So that makes for a better market for who? The buyer. Noting sellers are becoming a lot more flexible. So this story, Tom, is a weird story. It's a story that's telling you the prices are going up, but it's also telling you sellers are more flexible to wanting to sell. Tom, your thoughts on this story?
Well, I don't know who's more full of crap, politicians or headline writers. And I am getting, I just, shit, you know what we should do every day? You know what we should do every day, Pat? Just have 15 minutes. All of us sit here and we just go fast popcorn. We decode headlines for the short attention span reader. For people that don't want to read headlines, they just want to know what it means. And we could just do it. So, home prices hit record highs, dragging down sales. No, sales have been low for now 3 years, record lows. And what that means is the number of houses that transacted, Vinny. Like Vinny, we've been looking at Zillow. You were looking at down here. You're looking for a nice condo, 2-car garage, so that you've got
put a wife in it too. Hopefully,
well, you wouldn't put her in the garage, but I mean,
you know what I mean.
Well,
it depends on her attitude. But go ahead.
Yep. So, but the point is, you're looking for a great housing for yourself with a secure garage, and there's no inventory. They're not for sale. And the reason is people didn't want to sell their houses because they had a really good interest rate on their mortgage. Well, then guess what also has been happening? The property tax has gone up, and also that happens more gradually during reassessment, but it's the homeowner's insurance has gone way up, like California and Florida. And so if you read into the Wall Street Journal story, it's like we're starting to see price cuts, but people like you are still looking at the interest rate and what that does to your payment. And as soon as you buy that place, the property tax is going to reassess at the transaction, which that's up, and then the homeowner's insurance is up. So what you have is everything is up. It's not just this, but the first, I believe, and I connect with Bill Pulte, who's, president, the director, of Fannie Mae, and doing a great job in Washington. And he's been saying, we need interest rates to come down a little bit so we can get the market moving a little bit. If we can get one of the things to move, get the interest rates to move so more people could afford the payment with the property tax, with the insurance, maybe we could get this market going. But the Wall Street Journal here is just saying, home prices hit record high. That's dragging down the sales. Okay. But, there were some price cuts starting to happen. But the truth is the number of transactions is at a still way low. In other words, you can say this is up 1%, that's up 1%, that's down 1%. But and you can play games with percents. Words talk, numbers scream. Percents don't tell the whole story, but they're part of the numbers. It's the number of transactions just aren't happening. Because overall, it's a housing affordability crisis. That's what the issue is. And prices are up because the great houses are still selling, not briskly, but they're selling at higher prices.
So what does it mean?
It means that the market right now, there's not really a market for buyers right now. They need more things to be on a market at a moderated price. So when they buy that house, then the property tax is more moderated.
Do you think sellers today, Rob, what is the number of, do you remember the number, Tom, on how much cash people had during COVID? How we reached a all-time high of 2.4 trillion of cash, and it went all the way down to 1.4 trillion.
That's right.
What is the cash people have today?
And then the other alignment with that was the total amount of credit card debt that we went.
That's right.
Down to 700 billion, and we blew
1.1 trillion or whatever.
And we blew it right past 1.1 trillion when the government said 2022 everybody can go out and play.
No, what is the right way to ask the question? Because a lot of this matters. If I'm a buyer, this is the number I'm looking at.
What is the federal government statistic on total savings? And this will be coming from, I think it's St. Louis Fed that used to keep this. Actually, I'm sure of it. It's St. Louis Fed used to keep statistics on consumer savings and total credit card debt.
This number matters the most because during COVID, I remember the chart that they said during COVID, is it showing it to you? During COVID, they showed that the total cash during COVID showed that total cash American.
Okay, there's one stat that the AMS, average monthly savings, is 496. People are saving about $500. But what is the total reserve, like total savings reserves for Americans?
Average saver balance is is that it? $7,460?
That's not what I'm looking at. What I'm trying to find out is because if cash is low and I'm a buyer, fine. Yeah, I'd be curious to know how much cash people have. Because if the liquid cash we have right now is super low, then guess what? It's a good time to go buy because sellers need cash. But if the cash in hand people have right now is at an all-time high, nobody's going to be selling. The leverage isn't on you. So it becomes a very awkward time where sellers are willing to sell, but they're not motivated seller for the most part. So anytime I'm trying to buy something, I'll ask, is the seller motivated? They're motivated, but they're not desperate. Okay, well, what does that really mean? So you're not really fully motivated. Everybody's motivated, right? But not at the levels of wanting to drop the price by $50,000 or $100,000, depending on the price of the house. So a lot of that matters with the amount of cash that we have at hand. At least a couple years ago, it was tough because everybody was greedy. Adam.
Well, I'm not going to make any realtor friends by saying what I'm about to say, but the most overrated investment you can possibly make is buying a house. I'm not saying it's a bad investment. I'm not saying you're going to lose money. I'm saying it's the most overrated investment. So let's play a little game here, Vinny, because you've been asking about buying a house here for a second. If you're going to buy $1 million house, put down a little down payment, put down $50,000, you're a veteran. Okay.
I got the VA loan.
There you go. So right now, interest rate 6%, whatever it may be, 30-year mortgage. In 30 years, you say, all right, I bought this house for $1 million. How much do you think you actually spent and paid for that house?
On the actual house?
30 years from now,
okay.
How much did you spend?
Is it less than half?
What do you mean less than
like $500,000? Like the house is $1 million?
Yes. How much did you spend on that $1 million house?
Like actually on the house, $750,000.
Well, you didn't spend $750 because it costs $1 million.
But
So it's more than $1 million. Yes.
It's more than $1 million.
Yeah.
How much?
$2 million.
I don't want that.
Well, you buy $1 million house, 6% interest rate, 30-year mortgage, boom, 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 do the math. You're going to spend $2 million on that $1 million asset. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? You don't... Benny,
Rob,
don't buy a freaking house, bro.
That's all you have to say. What the hell are we doing freaking Jeopardy mortgages?
How much
did
did you spend on $1 million house? $750. No. You're spending more than the $1 million because you have to basically make payments. And
Yeah, of
on
course,
your
and
payments,
interest.
there's interest
Of
on your
course, I
payments.
know that.
Over 30 years, your $1 million house is going to cost you $2 million. Double it, double it, double it. That's my point. So for young people out there, this is my message to you. Don't buy a house. If you're young, you're single, you're working on your career, you're working on starting a business, you're not married, you don't have kids, you're working on your life, don't buy a house. I totally understand if you're established, you have a family, you have kids, you know where you're going to live for the next decade, you may want to consider buying a house. 100% if that's who you are. If you're young, you're single, bro, keep your flexibility high and your overhead low. Work on your career, work on your business, work on yourself. Don't get lied to and confused by the Realtor Association saying that renting is throwing away money. It's only throwing away money if you don't save that money, and use the difference to invest that money. I know plenty of realtors who rent. I don't know any financial advisors that don't own stocks.
Let me tell you what I found
Do the
out.
math on
Let
that.
me tell you what I found out yesterday for the very first time.
Tell me.
I found out that our governor doesn't own a home or a car. Do you know Governor DeSantis doesn't own a house or a car?
Smart guy.
Is it under his wife?
Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, it's weird.
Did you know that,
you know
Tom?
why.
I did not know that.
If you Google, does Ron DeSantis own a house or a car?
What?
He doesn't
Watch
need
this.
to.
No,
He
it's
doesn't own a
really-
car, but his wife is a sporty little model.
Jesus, Tom.
Okay, so that was inappropriate, but let's go back to this. So yeah, he doesn't, no private home, okay, does not own any private real estate, and doesn't own a car.
What does
They
his
use the
401k look
company-
like?
There's no public record. Some person own registered private vehicle. No public record of DeSantis personally owning a private vehicle.
What's
It's
wrong
kind
with that, though?
No, but it's kind of weird for a governor to not own. You ought to be.
I don't think
pro.
so.
Well, I understand you don't think so
Yeah,
because
you
you're like
of
the
all
anomaly.
people.
But
No,
what I'm saying
but,
to you is,
but maybe he's onto something.
it's very tough for you to want others to be optimistic about home ownership in your state while you're not. It's like when I went and bought a Ford, I bought it from this guy named Jaime Godina. Every once in a while, I give this guy a shout out. I bought a few Fords from him. We bought it for our family, and I've always referred over to him a bunch of people. He sold me an Expedition. He sold me a Focus or an Expedition. But I'm like, what do you drive? Oh, I drive an Expedition. What do you have? Product or the product? I don't know. The idea of people, I did an interview 2011, Rob. If you go to Denver Post by David, Denver Post by David, I'm wearing this beautiful orange sweater. Ghetto, look at that.
Look at that.
That's from Gap.
Oh, the True Religion?
Oh, Kojami didn't show up. Benim Gap.
but hang on.
Look at that sporty little model.
Oh, my goodness. Embarrassing.
Look at those. Look at those.
Zoom out a little bit. Let me see when the story
And
was
what was
written.
the article?
When was it written,
April
Rob?
28th, 2016.
Okay, 2016. So 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And
Let me see the
top
title of the article, Rob.
I don't think that's 2016.
Home buying.
No, because
Go
2016,
with
I'm
cold,
already
clear
in
logic
Texas.
and rent.
This is not 2016. The story,
It says updated, so it doesn't have the original.
It's updated. No, the original is 2012.
We've talked about
2011.
this article,
Yeah.
but I don't remember.
So if you go up there, the story says what?
Rent.
Home buying. Go with cold, clear logic and rent. I mean, I am for the renting if you're building something up. And that's what I did. I had $500,000 cash in 2009, and I said I'm going to put it into business instead of buying a house. And 5 years later, 4 years later, I bought a house. And then that made me money. And then I flipped and went and bought a house in Plano. That made me money. And then we eventually moved out here. And when we moved to Florida, we first rented for the first 6 months. And then we bought a house. And we bought a small little house, very small little condo is what we bought.
You got that small little house here in
yeah. Okay. So
Fort Lauderdale
so it all depends on the home ownership. I just thought it was very interesting that the governor doesn't own a house or a car.
Can I give you one more piece of insight? Because I fully agree with you that if you're building something, you should rent, and you could use basically the difference to build your business. I would make the argument that you don't have to be building a business. You can be building yourself. Something. You are your own business. You are your number one asset. The number one.
Adam, I got the argument. I'm moving on to the next story. I'm thinking you're telling me some inside scoop you have on why the DeSantis doesn't own a house, and you're telling me you're building yourself.
Well, no, PBD, I'm not going to let you just bulldoze my argument here for a second.
I understand.
Because there's a lot of people out there that don't.
Adam, I understand what you're saying.
You do because you're smart.
You're 45 years old. You don't own a house or a car.
I'm a fucking multimillionaire.
Yeah, you're not a multimillionaire. You're not sitting there like absolutely on top of the world. The average person isn't you. The average person isn't you.
But they can be me.
No, that's not the best life.
Says who?
Says who?
You're saying having millions in the bank is not a good thing?
You think the fear of commitment to building something?
No. Okay,
no. What?
Go ahead. What are you about to say?
Go ahead. What are you about to say?
What are you about to say?
Why don't you own a house?
Because it's way better to rent.
For who?
For me.
You think for you it's better to rent?
100%.
You think it's good for you?
Because I'll give you numbers.
Yeah.
Because I've taken all the money.
I will agree it's better for all of us that you're not driving.
I'm totally.
That part, I'm fully with you.
We're on the same page
folks,
there.
I don't think it's a good idea. But
because I've taken all the money I've saved and I bought Bitcoin. I've invested into my 401k.
Yeah.
I've invested into ETFs. I've invested into index funds. And the money I would have made buying, which historically is what, 3 to 5%, I've made 10, 20, 50, 100%.
Yeah. I got
That's
you.
math, PBD. You're a stats guy. You're a math guy. Tell me where I went wrong.
You.
And America, America's broke.
Let me ask you
Most Americans are dumb, fat, broke, losers.
Let me ask you
and they're trying to improve.
Okay.
And I'm giving them solutions. And you're like, no.
Are you
buy a house? But you just said don't buy a house.
Are you ever planning on owning a home?
Eventually, yes.
Why is that?
Eventually.
No. But when will your argument be right?
Well, from a numbers perspective, it might never be right.
Okay, perfect.
But from an emotional perspective,
I would much rather have you keep that argument and not contradict yourself. So tell me,
I've been very clear on this, sir.
Will you ever own a car?
If my wife wants me to buy her a car, yeah, we got to take some kids around.
Will you ever own a car for you?
Maybe, but it's not a top priority.
Why would you buy a car for you? Tell me.
To piss you off.
You're not going to piss me off. Well, why would you buy a car? Because the argument
I'm not anti buying a car. I'm saying I do. It's funny how I love the breakdown that you did. It just came out on Valuetainment about why to do a prenup, why not to do a prenup. I love what you did there. Because what you did is you drew out the numbers. And you said, all right, so you want to have 4 kids, you want to have private school, how much is your mortgage, how much is your house? And you did the math. And I love that about what you did, that you did math. Most people cannot afford a house with a mortgage, with kids, with 2 cars in the garage, with food, with groceries, with insurance. The math don't math. And things have shifted so astronomically in America today that you're just going to be broke if you keep perpetuating the same bullshit. Get a mortgage,
Adam,
get your house and a car. I'm not saying you're perpetuating that. But most people are broke. Most people are paycheck to paycheck because they're following the old rules of life. Times have changed.
Our audience that watches whatever we talk about here, okay? The average person who's minimum wage, I guarantee you they're not watching a podcast. A minimum wage person would hate our podcast.
Probably, yes.
A minimum wage person hates people like us. The person who's begging to raise minimum wage, they're not going to like a podcast like this. They're going to be sitting here saying, I can't stand what these guys are talking about. That's what they're going to say. But the people that are watching, they want to grow. For a phase, I get it, to rent. I wrote the article. I said what I stood for. Then, when later on, when you decide to have a family, wife and kids, security matters, community matters, protection matters, Many different things matter. Finances matters. Write-offs matter. There's a lot of other arguments on the opposite side.
I made that argument.
I know. I'm telling you.
I said if you're young and single, don't do it. If you're married and have a family, you may want to consider it.
Young and
Did I not
single.
say that?
Bro, you're not young.
I'm giving advice to people out
You're
there.
saying if you're young and
You
single.
don't think we have 25-year-olds who are watching this being like, I'm thinking about buying a house.
19 years away from getting Social Security. This guy, you understand what I just said to you? You're 19 years away from getting Social Security.
So what you want to do,
and 19 minutes from having an aneurysm.
So PBD, what you want to do is make it about me. It's not about Adam. Adam's doing freaking great. I'm talking about the 25-year-old there, the 30-year-old out there who's like, should I buy a place? No, Hector, keep your money. Save that money.
With the 25-year-old. I am with the 25-year-old. And by the way, that was your Russia hoax. This is the other hoax that you'll eventually come out of as well. But it's going to take a while until that comes out.
No, because this is with conviction. This is with life experience. That is just media bullshit.
It's a life with very few commitments. It's a different life. I'm going to move on to the next story.
No, I'm still on this story.
You stay on this story, buddy, for the rest of your life. You're going to be
I'm going to be right here renting this story.
This is 3 times you've tried to get to the next story.
So let's get to the next story here. So Macron decides to file a lawsuit over claims France's first lady was born male. Okay? And Rob, is this the one with Candace Owens? This is the one with Candace. Can you go to my Twitter, please?
Yes, sir.
If you go to the Twitter last tweet I have, which breaking story right there. Let's just read Nick Sorder's content, and then you can show mine. Can you show more on his tweet, Rob? Okay, there you go. Breaking news: they have filed suit against Candace Owens, saying his wife's a man. The discovery in this case is going wild. Macron accuses Owens of publishing outlandish, defamatory, and far-fetched fictions that fueled campaign of global humiliation and relentless bullying. The 215-page suit was just filed in Delaware. No response from Owens yet. Then, go back to my tweet, and I said, this is a terrible move by Macron. They better be 100% right. I can only imagine what discovery phase of the lawsuit will look like. They may find something.
So they're going to find something, all right.
And is this Candace responding to that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go for it.
You were born a man and you will die a man. That's the point I'm making. So give us a sample. I'll send my doctors to take your blood. Figure it out real quick, however you want to go about this. Hey, how about just giving us some pictures again of you growing up, raising your children? That would be fine. For whatever reason, to phone, by the way, like I said, we'll get to the bottom of it, right? That is what discovery is for. I'm going to ask a lot of questions. You're probably hoping, this will go away, and at least we'll say we sued her. We'll say we went after her. She'll probably file for this to get dismissed. I'd like to make it to discovery. I think that we owe that to the world. Anyways, you guys, we are revolting against this. We're revolting against the perverts that run the world. And I want to be very clear here. I count you among them. I think you're sick. I think you're disgusting. And I am fully prepared to take on this battle on behalf of the entire world. Okay? That's what I'm going to say. On behalf of the entire world, I will see you in court.
You can pause it right there. What a dumb move by Macron. Absolutely what a dumb move by Macron. There's nothing about this move. Adam, what are your thoughts on this story here? You had your name. You wanted to talk about
you want me to
start with these guys first.
I'll go. Count me in, coach. And here's the thing that nobody's talking about. Her team didn't get the lawsuit. Like, whoever the PR, Rob, can you find out who the PR team is? It's a PR team from here that deals with crisis management.
Yeah,
they're crisis management, Pat. So they went to the Financial Times with the story, Tommy, and they released it there. You know how Candace found out? The same way we found out. Online. So that's what they found out from Financial Times, and that tells you everything. This was never about truth. It's about headlines. Like, let's go back. What Candace did, the research, what we learned about her is, bro, when she wants a topic and she figures it out. Remember when she first started talking about this? Me and Pat walk into UFC, Tom, and she's just bouncing around in the back. And I'm like, Candace, we hug, we give each other love. And then she's like, you're not going to believe this. And me and her sat there for 1 hour. And I was like, and Pat's talking to everybody. I forgot who was there. And then Pat looks at me and goes, what's wrong? And I go, Macron's wife is is a dude. But I was like, what the hell are you talking about? So she does the research. They hit the bee's nest, and they pissed off the wrong person. So they hired the American crisis firm. And that's the move. That's what you do when you just want people to like look like Pat. Like, oh, look what I'm doing. I'm pressing charges. But like this is the first time ever a sitting world leader is suing a podcaster, a content creator
from a different country.
From a different country, but like it's not. This is, you nailed it. This is the problem. They're gonna have to show documents. They're gonna have to show medical records. She nailed it. Like
wait, you skipped a step. Go back.
What?
Tell everybody what they offered her originally. They wanted her to be quiet, and they sent an emissary, and they offered Candace a bunch of money.
Yeah, they offered her cash first.
Yep.
To shut the hell
Like
up, and a lot of
like
cash.
a cash
Annuity.
an annuity.
An annuity.
Or a settlement.
Or a settlement.
Paid
And
like
then-
an annuity.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
They did that.
Exactly.
Why would
and
you
then,
do that?
And then and here's the thing, guys. It's so simple. It's so simple. All you have to do to shut the world up, they're making it bigger, do a blood test. Have an outside entity, but you can't just say, okay, give us a blood test. They're going to put a dudes. Have a blood test. Show it. Just prove it. You want to shut her up? Prove it. Which, when it comes down to it, this is what, and she nailed, that's a great point that was overlooked what she said. When it comes to elite, to hell with the boys and the girls. Okay, I don't even give a shit. Male, female, whatever. It's the pedophilia part that people aren't talking about, okay? That's the real point. I don't give a damn, boy or girl. Live your truth or false, whatever the hell. The fact that the media and the power structures are more focused on the gender accusations. These guys, apparently her teacher groomed Macron when he was 14, allegedly. And it was so bad that Macron's parents, Rob, fact check me, took him out of that class, man. They were like, no, this guy's a freaking girl, whatever the hell she was, a pervert. They're obsessed with covering up pedophilia. That's the pattern. From Epstein to this, to Macron's wife, husband, or whatever. It's the same playbook every single time. And it's like they always get away with it. And I'm happy that she's staying on to it. Them suing her is the biggest mistake they're ever going to make, because now we're going to find out the truth.
But they fell for her trap, though.
That's the beauty of it.
They fell for her trap.
Good.
They fell for her trap, and it's such a amateur trap. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? She got exactly what she wanted from you.
Yep.
She wanted you to sue her.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted you to do this.
Yes, she won.
Because now that you're doing that, okay, and story comes out, and she does, or, whatever, he does the blood work, and it comes out you're a female. Guess what? Done with.
You win.
That's right. It's done. It's a very easy thing to do. But if you have two choices. Do the blood work, don't do the blood work. Let's go through both of it. You don't do the blood work, you're a man.
Yes.
You do the blood work, you're either a man or a woman. So if you do the blood work, you're a woman, bad look for Candace. But you do the blood work and you're a man, game over.
It's a wrap.
So what's the chances she will agree to do the blood work?
Zero. Absolutely not.
Exactly.
I'm with Tommy. That exposes everything.
0%.
Yep.
It happens.
At all.
Tom.
And what's funny is Macron wants us all to believe that this marriage is like Hawaii.
Why?
Okay, warning, dad joke coming.
Thanks, Pat.
Think about
kids.
it. Coke, no nuts.
I'm sorry, guys. We'll be right back.
Adam, go ahead.
Get it? Yeah, you get it? Get it?
Adam, tell us.
So Bridget Macron is a man. She's a woman. She's a man. I could just imagine Trump on his daily activities. All right, Mr. Trump, Susie Wiles here. We're going to go over the top 5 things we got to cover today. Right now, we got tariffs. We got China. We see what's going on with the EU, India. We just struck a deal with Japan. Cool. We got wars, Russia, Ukraine. Got it. Israel. We're going to see what's happening with Taiwan. Immigration, the border shut down. Terrorism. We're stopping a lot of things out there. We see what's going on. But the biggest thing, we got to locate Bridget Macron's dang-a-lang. We got to figure this thing out.
Yeah.
The world wants to know what's going on. Candace did a whole thing about this. It's one of the highest viewed shows going on there. We got to find that dick. We got to do it. And I feel like there's a lot of people who genuinely put that at the top of their list. Kind of like my Epstein thing. Is it important to know? Is it relevant? Sure. How does this change your life if they find out the truth or not? How does it change your life? Because in my opinion, there's people who are just not following this whatsoever. There's people who are interested.
Yep.
There's people who are focused,
Uh-oh,
and
here
there's
we go.
people who are completely obsessed with this.
Yeah.
They've watched every single episode.
Here comes the
They know
L
everything
word.
that's going on here.
Are they losers?
There are a lot of losers
Can I ask you a
out
question?
there.
Can I ask you-
There's a lot of losers
Adam,
out there.
can I ask you a
And here, let me
question?
say one
Go
thing.
ahead, go ahead.
We just talked about the people not buying a house, whatever.
Right.
I guarantee you, there's people out there 50 pounds overweight, broke, struggling to figure out their life, who are like, I'll tell you everything you want to know about Bridget's Macron's dangling. I know everything.
Yeah.
And those people are losers.
But ready for this, Adam? This isn't like a Jersey Shore episode and Snooki
This is
and
Tiger
the
King,
situation.
Dahmer,
Yeah,
mixed up
But there's a difference
in a
between
French penis.
Those people are just a reality TV, whatever. Why people are worried is, Adam, if it's true, if this is true, this dude groomed a 14-year-old boy who became the president
He
of
decided to marry her.
No, him. Oh, no, hold on. Yeah, but Adam, go bring it back. The grooming. Same thing with Epstein.
I'll ask you one very.
Underage.
I'm going to ask you one specific question.
Yeah.
They find out the truth here. No hyperbole. How does this affect or change your life at all?
No, I want accountability. If it,
Does it change your life at all?
Adam,
Does it help you at all?
Actually, it changes the global. Like, Adam, think about what happens to the
it
world.
changes the what?
First of all, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should be laser
but-
focused
but-
on
but
this. Go
Adam,
ahead.
You realize we're running a podcast, and you realize it's reacting to a story. If
That's
you
what I'm
don't
doing.
give a shit about the story, say I don't give a
No,
shit
that's
about the
not-
story. I'm not coming to you.
That's not
So
tr-
let's stay on the story. And to you, this is a nothing burger. Let's go to some people that actually care and want to know opinions, not facts. It's a podcast.
I know
this is
that.
not that big of a deal. We're talking about it. So let's stay on that.
What's your opinion, then?
My opinion on this is embarrassing for a world leader of a country like France if this is exposed in the EU with the relationship that he has. It's an absolute embarrassment if the story comes out that, have you and I met other girls that are married? What do you think about when you hear stories of a man married to a girl that's 20 years older? How old is he? What's the age difference, Rob? The age gap between the two of these guys?
He was 14 and she was. He was 14 pounds. He was 39.
What is the
25 years.
So what do you think about a man who is a leader of a nation marrying somebody 25 years older?
Completely weird.
24 years older.
It's against nature.
That's a very weird age gap.
And this is a world
That's
leader.
like you're a player. It's not like a desperate man.
Correct.
A 25-year-old marrying a 49-year-old.
So why did the losers in France vote for him?
So,
No.
but where I'm going with this is, if this gets leaked, there's a couple things here. Okay, credit to where credit's due. I had Hannity on Tuesday, and then we talked about Tucker and all this other stuff, and this person and that person and this person. All the names were coming up, and one of the things was, why do you now regret offering Tucker $100 million? I think you asked me that question, right? And what did I tell you? I said, to me, when you look at people that are content creators, journalists, whatever you want to take it, podcasters, there is a few things that makes a talent get eyeballs. One, high level of trust, where they feel like they're reasonable. Two, they're entertaining. Like, for example, Joe seems like a guy you trust. People believe him.
Joe Rogan.
What does Rogan think about it? It's a very high score for him. Entertaining. You're funny. You're a good storyteller. You're entertaining to watch, right? 3, you bring constant value to me. 4 is people want to know your perspective. I wonder what he thinks about it. I wonder what she thinks about it. Oh my God, emergency podcast. What does PBD podcast crew think about it? What does XYZ think about it, right? You know what the other one is? Somebody that's willing to take a risk on a story. And that risk could do what? Destroy them, or for people to say, respect. Guess what? This girl goes up, and look, we just did a podcast 2 months ago disagreeing with, I would never have my son serve the military and all this other stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not with it. I'm proud to be an American.
You're saying when Candace said
that. I'm not with it. And we talked about this.
Not good.
And what did you say? You said something about, was it that one or was it another position that you...
it went to say, it was just a conversation.
positions.
Even if you talk to the president, they gave you the okay. My thing was just in secrecy, like when we talk, I don't share it with anybody.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah,
that's just me.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
President Trump called and said this. Okay, great. But in this case here, if this comes out to be true, you know why this is massive? Because it means podcasters are getting the attention of presidents and prime ministers.
Bingo.
To create the truth to come out, something that the BBCs of the world couldn't do.
Yep.
And guess what? You got to respect that, period, if somebody does that. That's why this is important, if it happens or not. Do I really care? No. Do I care whether he's married to a guy or not? I think it's weird. Do I tell my guys, my kids, hey, he's a great example of a man? Absolutely not.
No.
Do I go up there and say, hey, look, you can also one day marry somebody 24 years older. When you were 14 years old, your teacher was 38. You can one day marry him or her or whatever you want to call it, right? We're going to find that here soon. That's kind of weird. But in this context, oof, this thing just got spicier. And that means, again, another one of those things, if you're double dumb and you want a story to continue, do exactly what Macron did to Candace. Congratulations, dummies. You officially extended the story for you know how long? Do you know how long they extended the story? You think this is going to go for a week? You think it's going to go for a month? You think it's going to go for a year? This is going to be extended for 24 months to 36 months is what they just did. Double dumb on them. Double dumb on them of what they did.
They're 100% right.
If they're 100% right, then like I said,
yes.
good. And if they are 100% right, guess whose credibility gets this
Candace goes into the garbage.
If they're 100% right. If they're 100% right. But by the way, here's the thing, though. If somebody right now accused you of being a girl before, okay, but hear me out.
There's a lot of people that accuse me
if somebody accused Adam of being not gay, but somebody says you were born a woman.
Yeah.
Somebody says you're born a woman.
Yep.
Somebody says the truth is out. Vinny's born a woman. Those are all implants, the hair. Tom's a woman. Okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
If you know for a fact that you're a man, how do you actually react to that? I actually want to be honest with you. If somebody says you're born, how do you react to, and let's just say, let's choose a podcaster. Okay. Every single week, this podcaster, he or she, keeps saying, Vinny's a woman. Vinny's a woman. Vinny, come out and say it. We all know you're a girl. Your voice cracks every once in a while. Hey, Adam, we know you're a girl. Why don't you show the picture of you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What are you going to do?
Time for discovery, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I asked to go on their podcast, and I, on camera, go behind the towel, and I'll flash them and be like, what is that? Number one. All
right, so then you're definitely
I can't flash
small
that. Number
man.
one. That's number one. I'll prove the proof is in the pudding. And number two, bring a blood test. Draw me right there. Show me right then.
There's one above both of that. You know what it is?
Your birth certificate?
No. There's one above all of it.
Adam's apple.
No, there's one above all of it. What the are you talking about? Like, there's not even a need to respond.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing.
Good point. Yeah.
There's like, what do you mean, like, I'm a woman? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying to you right now. Like, when somebody says something, let me tell you, they're getting their money from this. They're getting their money from... Yeah, say it. Like, what am I
talking about?
One month, we're getting money from Qatar. We're getting money from Assad. Who the hell are we getting money from?
Clients.
If we get up there, it's like, let me tell you what's going on. Pump the brakes, buddy. The fact that you sued, you freaking double dumb community... What the hell are you thinking?
Just say French.
You just validated your point. What a double dumb move by them.
Well,
I mean, I don't even know what else to tell you.
Imagine
about
the conversations.
Who the hell was the advisor that said, let's sue?
It's the PR. I'm pretty sure it's the PR team.
If you came to me and I said, you came to me, you're at the house, 10 o'clock at night, you're crying, you're like, Pat, this girl won't stop saying I'm a girl. What should I do?
Yeah.
Impregnate her?
No, like, what do you think I'm going to say? You better sue her. What are you talking about? Like,
but it's not
sue
like
her now.
You're making a fantastic.
Can you imagine
point.
them arguing
about? But it's not like Candace did a podcast or two about this. She did a full-on Netflix series about Bridget Macron's alleged penis.
If you know it's like such a dumb thing to want to sue, but bro,
unless you're right,
24 years older, you met at 14 years old. That's criminal.
That's very weird.
Criminal.
That's criminal. I mean, I don't care if you're a girl or a guy. What are you talking about?
This says a lot about the French,
though. What are you talking about?
Says a lot about that society.
This is some of the stuff that who the hell is in your ear? Who is in your ear? But anyways, it doesn't help that there was that video of him getting smacked upside the head by him or her on the what do you call it, plane.
They're not get off the plane. It's like,
nothing. What is? We just got a kinky thing that we've been doing. I mean, he's been punching me since I was a 14-year-old student after class when I would get detention. I mean, you're giving us such easy jokes that elementary kids can make jokes about this.
That reaction when he got
the flipping on, double dumb. What a double dumb thing to do.
A reaction when he got slapped in the face and he was like, hey.
What a dumb thing. Okay, Vinny, I'm coming to the next story. Jacksonville, Florida police investigating viral video showing officer punching driver in the face. Okay, we've seen this video. Yep. So if you want to play the video that we've all seen, guys, brace for impact. That's a little bit disturbing. When you watch the video, guy gets smacked upside the head by a cop, and then Vinny's got a bunch of stuff that he wants to say. So I'm giving you warning. It's a little bit disturbing. He's going to get hit in the face. Vinny, if you want to tell us what's going on so far, just for this video, not the other context of stuff. What happened 6 minutes prior to that?
So what led up? Okay, so William McNeil Jr. He's getting pulled over, and thank you, Pac. He didn't have his headlights on during inclement weather. And just an FYI to everybody out there that's like, what? It's law in Florida. If your wipers are on, your headlights have to be on too. Okay. On top of that, he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Okay. So now, all you're getting, and mind you, this incident happened months ago. He waited a month and then just posted this one piece of content to get the public pissed off, and this is when he starts, okay? And then I sent Rob a video of the pre-thing, but this is what this guy, William McNeil, posted. So, Rob, go ahead and post this.
Is that the guy who's driving?
Go ahead, Rob.
And just a clarification, the traffic stop happened in February. The video footage was obtained in March, and then they sat on this until July to release it.
He did. He waited months, and I'll tell you what, because the sheriff does something great in this interview. But go ahead, Rob, play it.
He keeps looking into his own
stop. Tom, go back a little bit. Go for it. Go ahead.
When he pulled me over, he walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right? Okay. And then I said, so what I did wrong? Yeah. He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like, okay. There's multiple people headlights off, first of all. And then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Says there's no rain. There's water on the window up top of the sunroof.
Yeah.
Can
you call your supervisor? Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Oh, damn.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands.
Here.
I'm here. What is your reason, sir? What is your reason?
Step out now. All right.
No, resisting arrest. Resisting arrest, fighting the cops.
Stop fighting.
Put your hands behind your back.
Okay, fighting the cops.
Hands behind your back.
Okay, now, you guys see this video. If you just see this, what are you seeing? How deceiving is social media? You see this, and oh my God, the cops are bad. Mind you.
Disturbing.
By the way, the cop that hit him, PBD, with the hit, he's under investigation. He was relieved of duties. That's being dealt with. But now, what you guys didn't see. And Rob, can you play the clip that I sent you?
Yeah, and just so you know, where the actual window breaking happens is more than 6 minutes into the traffic stop.
Yeah, so but Bob, I sent you one that has
I got it.
Okay, yeah. So remember, almost 6.5 minutes of dealing with this guy. And so watch, they're gonna show you this. I want you guys to see this, and I'm gonna say my piece. Go ahead.
Can you call your supervisor? Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Okay, now watch this.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights. And it's not weather. It's not raining.
Oh, this is inclement?
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No.
Call your supervisor.
No.
Why?
Excuse me?
Call your supervisor.
Step out of the vehicle.
Step out.
Step out of the vehicle.
Look. No, and then, okay. Locks the door. Watch this. Watch this, Tom.
Just slam the door and lock it. I've already told you. What? Right now, you're under arrest for resisting. Sir, this is your last warning to open the vehicle and exit before we're going to break the window. Open the door and exit, or we are going to break the window.
2 times.
Open the door and
3
exit,
times.
or we are going to break the window. Open the door and exit.
4
you
times.
are under arrest for resisting. Open the door
5
and exit.
times.
You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door
Guess what?
and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. I'm about to break the window.
Okay, now, guys. Okay, so see how this went. Rob, I'm gonna have you play the sheriff in a second. But guys, he just like pulls out the phone. Okay, posts it online like he's the victim. Okay, and then the internet goes crazy. The officer, like I said, is gonna get in trouble. But here's the thing, and I want everybody to understand this. If you're getting pulled over and they're asking for your driver's license and you're thinking, just listen, if you have no warrants, you have a valid license, just comply. He could have been on the road in 5 minutes, okay? But the guy wanted this moment, all right? And when they searched his car, Rob, guess what they found? An unsheathed, serrated knife sitting on the passenger side on the floorboard, okay? The cops are saying that he reached for it. I think they're still disputing that. But you know what this reminds me of? You guys remember when Tyreek Hill was going to the Miami game, speeding like a maniac, got pulled over, okay, closes the door, closes the window, arguing with the police, okay, he acted like an entitled rich freaking brat. He didn't want to listen because the rules don't apply with him. And then guess what? When they interview him, you know what he said? I'm just being a black man. That's it. I'm just being a black man in America, bruh. That's not it. Okay, that's not why you got pulled over. Okay, you were driving like an idiot, and there's this sentiment now towards cops back, and especially like in the younger community, the African American community. It's like, no, I ain't got to do shit. Roll up the window. Just comply. Okay, you're never gonna deal with this situation if you just listen. We all do it. Give me your driver's license. I don't put on a camera and try to fight with the freaking cop. Just listen to what they're saying. It's the law. It's the law. It's a traffic stop, okay? This guy would never be in this situation. Same thing with George Floyd. If George Floyd wasn't a scumbag, he never would have met that cop, Derek Chauvin, if you weren't a scumbag, okay? And this guy's a scumbag in my eyes. And Rob, play this video of what the sheriff said.
Social media is not reality. One video clip, devoid of context, can be very misleading. Given that McNeil never brought this incident to JSO's attention, but rather pushed the cell phone camera footage that he had in his possession since March 5th out on social media, one can only assume, and I'm saying I assume, that he intended to inflame the public. The administrative process is still ongoing, and as such, I will neither defend nor commend Officer Bauer's response to resistance until all the facts are known and the investigation is completed. However, as the leader of this agency, I will not remain silent while important facts and information are buried to advance an anti-police agenda. The truth is, William McNeil Jr. was non-compliant with JSO officers within 21 seconds after he was stopped for multiple civil infractions. His non-compliance quickly rose to the level of criminal resistance to a police officer. McNeil was arrested and pled guilty to resisting a police officer without violence. Force absolutely looks ugly. And because all force is ugly, whether or not the officer involved acted within outside JSO policy, that's still what we're investigating.
Yeah, that punch, by the way, he's getting under investigation. That cop was relieved of his duty and do an investigation and get him in trouble. But this attitude, this sentiment towards cops of the hell with them, and they're just trying to kill us, and that's horseshit. And the stats are on our side, okay? Just comply. Give me your driver's license. You know how easy that is? Here. Okay, officer, I didn't know. I'm sorry. Let me put them on. Bye. You're gone in 5 minutes. Instead, you would have played this, roll the window, close up, not listen. That's what you get. That's what you get. But don't try to, that's why he's trying to inflame the public and try to make us against cops. Oh, the cops are trying to kill us. His family was speaking up too, like, oh, it's just because he's a black man. And no, bullshit. It's because you're acting like that, and that's the behavior.
Adam.
I just love the way that this sort of played out. I like the way that our friend Rob sort of teed this up, because if you only see the first video first,
he's a victim.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked. And then the one thing, like, punch him in the face. I'm like, oh my, here it is again. George Floyd.
Yeah, exactly.
Michael Smith, here it is. And you know the weirdest part? The weirdest part, I don't know if you could play that video, Rob. As soon as the glass breaks,
he's calm.
Do you see how calm that dude is?
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
As if it's like, I expected this.
Yeah. And it's on camera. And it's on camera.
It was like, that was the weird. See how calm he is? Watch. Look how calm he is.
Yeah, look. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't do anything. Yeah, my camera's running.
Because he knew this was going to happen.
Of course.
And what's so
Look how innocent he looks.
What's so important is playing the beginning and then also
But let me tell
the
you,
ending of this, because it tells the truth.
A part of me when I'm watching this, he doesn't look like a bad kid. I'm sorry, guys. He doesn't look like a bad kid. Okay? I'm watching this thing. Like, right after he gets hit in the face, go back to it, Rob. And I know this is not a popular position I'm taking right now. Go back to when he's getting hit in the face. Okay? And he holds. Okay, press play right there. And we don't mean to be playing this every time. So watch this. Boom. Immediately, hands go up.
Yep.
Okay? Hands go up. And the way he talks, he's not. Does this guy have a criminal record or no?
I'm checking right now. No.
Does he have a criminal record?
However, February was resisting. No previous record.
Let's just assume he's not a criminal.
No, but I'm actually really curious. But let me go through it, and I'm going to go with a very different angle. Can you find out if this guy's got a criminal record? Nothing about that moment behavior tells me the guy's got a criminal record. Does he have a criminal record? It's been described a 22-year-old biology major and marching band. He gives me a vibe of a marching band guy. Member at Livingston College, no prior convictions. Pleaded guilty and resisting. Okay, so okay, hang on. Just wait for me. Just wait for me on where I'm going here. Can you play the clip with the stepfather, Rob? Go to the stepfather, playing the clip. Okay, go to the stepfather, playing the clip, and go make it bigger, and then go to the next slide. Let him play, and then the stepdad speaks, and then the lawyer speaks. Zoom in a little bit.
This is him?
Yeah.
Over and do nothing wrong.
You wait for it. The stepdad comes right afterwards.
I was really just scared. Just see that video made me go back to
when I was 22, and it hurt it.
It hurt it. It made me upset.
Mm-hmm.
But I seen what my son did that I had to do.
Okay, pause right there. Yeah. All right. So, unfortunately, last night, something happened with one of our kids. Anyways, and I have to go pick him up, and I'm talking to him, and we're having a long conversation on the way back. You know what the conversation was? Hey, you screwed up. What do you want me to do? Doesn't change my unconditional love for you. Doesn't change the fact that I'm going to be your dad for the rest of your life. Doesn't change the fact that you always know you can count on me. Always, you can count on me. But guess what? You screwed up. And that causes a decision to be made. Okay? How much you think this kid, up until this point, lived in a household or a community or mentors that have been feeding him this thing about black this, cops this? How many years do you think he's been fed this?
A lot, and the media doesn't help.
He doesn't give me the vibe that he's that guy, though. Mm-hmm. He just did this because it's been fed to him. He gave me the vibes of a good boy that is trying to be better. But guess what? When the basic stuff, when the law tells you, hey, cop pulls you over, do what they ask you to do.
It's simple.
The only reason you would behave like that is because someone fed you nonsense, and now this is what's happening. And you're not a victim. You're not a victim. There's laws. Follow the law. Here's why I pulled you over. This is what happened. It's such a disappointing thing. And then the other part is like the lawyer that shows back up. It's the same lawyer that you've seen before. If you go back to the link, Rob, and you go to the third slide with the exact Instagram thing I sent you, you've seen this guy's face before. There's these guys that this is a business model. They just wait for things like this to happen.
And that same lawyer
It's that lawyer. You see him all the time.
Yeah,
go to the last one. That's him.
Ben Crump is his name.
You always see him in situations like this. It's kind of like the other lawyer who was the GOAT on sexual harassment lawyers.
The girl.
What's her name? They did a
Albright?
documentary on her. No, not Albright. That's a different name. What is her name, Tom? I had her on a podcast 12 years ago, 11 years ago.
Gloria Allred.
Gloria Allred. Guess what Gloria's daughter does? Same exact thing she does. You know that? Same exact thing she does her daughter does, give or take. So, I don't know. I'm watching this kid. I'm like, dude, if a better person was in your ear, you would be someone else. You ever seen Tupac when he was younger? People claim he was gay. Yeah. You ever seen the Tupac? It's like, well, I don't know. All I know is the fact that when it comes down to art, I'm very, this and that, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, a couple years later, that's it. This is the interview. You ever seen? Look at the way he talks.
He's an
My
actor.
name is Tupac Shakur, and I attend Tamalpais High School, and I'm 17 years old.
Do you like being 17?
It's like 17 is such a weird age. It's such a in the middle age. You're not 18 yet, and you're older than 16. So. But I like it. It's nice. It's like a learning stage for me.
Look at the way he speaks. Body language. How many tattoos do you see?
None.
Okay.
Well, 18.
All right.
Yeah.
Who got a hold of him all of a sudden?
Yeah.
What got a hold of him all of a sudden? This guy turns out to become a gangster.
Gangster
tough
rapper.
guy.
Yeah.
That's why you fat mother. Is that?
Yeah.
that
No,
that's
what?
all I need is in the life of sin is me and my
No,
girlfriend.
that's
That's the troublesome guy. That's that guy. That's the life goes on. That's that guy. I don't know. Dude, the wrong person in your ear can destroy your life. The right person in your ear can help you out, man. So my biggest challenge with that is who's in your ear, okay? You're some of the guys that end up winning at the highest level and they make money and they grew up in an environment that there was a lot of mess going on. Who's in your ear? This kid, who's in your ear? Just being fed victimhood mentality. Being fed victimhood mentality. Being fed victimhood mentality, and you're buying it, okay? Parents, when it comes down to your kids, when your kids screw up, they screw up. Let them face the consequences. Have their back. Do everything you can as a parent, but they need to know it's a screw up, just like we went through it. Tom and I were having a conversation yesterday, and, when Tom was a kid, he was also pretty, what's the word? There's a word for it.
Rambunctious?
Yeah, I would say, well, by the way, Tom was, people see Tom right now as a final product. Tom was, he got in trouble in a different way.
Like Will Ferrell was like, Gator don't play that.
Yeah.
Gator don't play.
No,
Tom was out there.
But what's the point? As boys, you're going through it. But guess what? Good parents raised a man that now has raised incredible girls with his wife. Okay? So, but what is that? Somebody at one point of your life taught you, you screwed up. Man up. You screwed up. And unfortunately, somebody told this guy it's the cop's fault. And now he's going to have this on his file every time he goes to a job interview.
Yeah.
What happened? Well, let me tell you, it wasn't fair. Go to employer and say it wasn't fair. Who the hell wants to hire somebody that always says it's not fair? The moment I'm in an interview and I catch the language of it's not fair, victimhood, blame, bashing the previous boss, I'm not attracted to you. You literally can watch someone's interview and see how they speak, and I'm like, yeah, no, you're going to talk shit about us here very soon. Goes back to this one guy when I'm at Ohika Castle. This one guy comes up to me and says, let me tell you, Patrick, I've been in New York Life. I've been in Primerica. I've been in Transamerica. I've never had a good leader to work with. Now I found you. I know everything's going to change. And I told him, I said, no. Very soon, I'm going to be the fourth bad guy you work for, and you're going to go to a different company. A couple years later, same exact thing happened.
Gone.
Gone.
Damn.
There's a pattern. And that language is either taught as the individual. So to me, when I'm watching this kid, this is not a bad kid. It's not a bad kid. He effed up.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not sitting here telling you it's a screw up. Yes, and the media using this to pander so black on black. And I love the fact that the sheriff that was speaking on TV is a black guy. Of
course.
You don't think he wants to help another guy out? Watch this movie that I keep telling everybody to watch. It's called The Forge. Did you end up watching The Forge or no?
Yeah.
I told Mario to watch The Forge. I think Mario watched The Forge, and I'm telling a bunch of people. Yeah, TK Waters. I don't know who you are, sir. Thank you for your service. Respect to you. I have no idea who this man is. I've never met him. I've never spoken to him. The way he handled himself, I guarantee you he probably has some positive influence on some young men around him.
For sure.
Nephews, kids in school that got in trouble that he challenged them to get better. I had a guy like this in the Army, and they fixed me. They challenged the hell out of me when I was 18 years old, and I was acting up and put me in my place. We need men like this. These are the heroes that we. What's that, Tom?
He grew up in the Army.
Did he really?
His father served in the United States Army as a command sergeant, and he grew up as a military brat, stationed at several bases with his dad.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it's the truth.
Isn't that due to his father's service while they were playing Marines, but changed his mind when a cousin was killed in 1990 during a robbery in Ramona, neighborhood of Jacksonville? So I don't know, man. I don't like hearing stories like this, and it bothers me for two reasons. because that kid is one decision away from being an incredible citizen and living a great life. And the people who keep feeding this victimhood bullshit mentality are going to keep continuing this behavior. It's never going to stop. But he's not George Floyd.
No.
This kid's not George Floyd.
No, absolutely not.
This kid is not any of those other kids that we read about.
No.
This is actually a good kid.
Yeah, but Pat, it could have easily become something crazier. Because Rob, can you show really quick when they break the glass of the car? This is what's laying on the passenger side on the floor. Like when you're a cop and you see that, that's a whole different situation. And then remember, he leans into that side. You don't know what the hell's going on. You don't know why he's resisting. So going back to the initial point, just follow their instructions, and that's it. That's it. It never has to escalate.
What
to
is that, by the way? Is that a
unshielded Crocodile Dundee knife?
Okay, so that's a Crocodile Dundee knife.
Laying on the floor unshielded.
That's Tapa ramen. That's water. Do you see anything wild, anything crazy there, or no?
No, deodorant.
Other than the knife.
Is that deodorant?
Yeah.
So the only thing is the knife.
Yeah.
But do you see crack pipes? Do you see anything like that?
No, not at all.
I don't see anything like that. Adam.
Look, you don't know what someone's going through until you really kind of step into their shoes. Yesterday, I was having a conversation here at Valuetainment, and it's a guy we know. We all know him. We all love him. And I was like, "What's up, man? You okay?" He's like, "You don't know what I'm dealing with right now." And he went down a laundry list of things that's going on with his family. I was like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. Oh, your father, man, I feel for you." And he's like, "People don't know what I'm going through right now. People don't know." And I was like, "Man, I hear you." And we're all going through things. And you put yourself in this guy's shoes. We all have our, they say, it's my truth, it's my truth, it's my truth. There's something that a lot of black people have to go through. It's called being black while driving. And we don't know what it's like to be black while driving. We don't know. We all deal with this.
I'm curious, what did you tell that guy? What did you tell that guy? Whoever that guy is. I don't know who you're talking about, but what did you tell that guy?
I told him a lot of times it has to do with improving yourself. I said, you have all this chaos around you. How do you feel about yourself right now? It's like, nah, I'm not happy with where I'm at. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to improve. I said, you're absolutely right. It's kind of like the airplane analogy. It's like put on the oxygen mask on yourself before you start helping others. You want to help everybody. You can't fix all these people around you.
Yeah.
You have to improve yourself.
I want to move.
It's kind of what I told you. But I'll say just one thing.
Yeah.
Everyone out there is dealing with things. Like, you don't understand what Jews want, how sensitive they are about the Holocaust. You don't understand how Armenians are about the genocide that happened in Turkey. You don't understand, he said Assyrians don't say things about their mom. Yeah. You don't know when blacks while driving. You don't know what it's like to be Hispanic and be an immigrant here. You don't know what it's a woman, be gay. We all have our different things that we are dealing with, and I totally understand.
Okay.
You put yourself in these people's shoes. I understand why that young black kid was hesitant to step out of the car.
No. Hold on.
I understand.
Wait. If he was white, if he was white,
hold on.
Would they have treated him the same way?
You validated my point.
No, I understand why he was skeptical. I would encourage him to understand where the police are coming from right here and why you need to listen to the police.
The backup
I'm not
was
saying
black.
he's
The backup
right.
cops were black. Adam, the question, if he was white or Spanish, would they have done the same thing? Absolutely.
Yes, I'm not making it a race thing. I'm making it, this is what you're feeling.
No, I'm not feeling.
You've
it's not
seen
about that.
Countless stories like George Floyd, like Michael Brown,
I'm moving on, bro.
Yeah.
I am not with that premise position you took. That's not where I'm going. I'm going to whoever's in that kid's ear destroys his life. And he's got to know as an adult, if you live in a screwed up environment, you know what's right or wrong. You hit a certain age that you know you're doing something dumb. At what age do you know you're doing something dumb? Tell me.
I'm not.
But hang on, I'm asking you guys. At what age do we learn that we're doing something dumb?
When you're a kid.
At what age? Tell me what age. At what age do you know you're doing?
6, 10. I don't know. What you tell me?
What do you think it is? I'm actually asking. At what age do you know you're doing something stupid? Like, do I need somebody to tell me don't smoke crack? Do I need somebody to tell me
Sometimes you do.
eating too much cheesecake is bad? At what point do you know you're making a bad decision?
You're 6, 7 years old.
Fairly young.
You're in kindergarten, and you're out there doing things. You suddenly somebody gets hurt, and the teacher's yelling. And you're like, "Well, that was dumb."
Okay, so
you don't have to be that old to figure it out.
Tom, very basic answer. It's like 6, 7 years old, right? You'll learn it's bad. I'm going to tell you this one story. Sandra Bays was a director of psychology at Glendale High School. I'm 26 years old. She invites me to go. I said, "Give me the most troubled kids in the school. I want to go work with them. I'm an alumni. I want to work with this class." They give me 30 kids. And I go in there. I got all these gangsters, 14-year-old girls that are pregnant, and what do you call the ankle
Monitor.
the bracelets. These are those kids, right?
Yeah.
I have them.
court monitors.
And so Sandra Bays is sitting there. If she hears this, she will remember this. We have pictures. We have videos. It was a great conversation that we had. But I'm in there. None of it was publicized. It's always been private. And I start going one by one. So you don't know my life. Oh, really? Yeah. You don't know what life I lived. Okay. Perfect. Let's do an exercise, buddy. What's that? One by one, I want you to tell me how hard your life is. Everybody. I'll go first. Go. You know, and you don't know what it is to be black. Cool. I don't. Next. I'm being pressured because I'm short and girls are judging me. Never forget that kid, Armenian kid. Cool. They make fun of me because I'm super short. It was a super short kid. Great. Painful. Next. Boom. Next. Boom. Next. Boom. One girl, I get to her. She's like this. I'm not going to tell you. I said, you don't want a shirt? No. So you don't have to shirt if you're not comfortable. And the next thing you know, she breaks down crying, runs out. Two of her friends, whatever, run out with her. One or two of her friends run out with her. I said, privacy, only if you're comfortable, share. And remember, the director of psychology is watching an amateur, seeing, hey, you kind of crossed the line because that's why she's there. Next. By the time we're done, you hear everyone's challenges. How I got pregnant. How this, how that. Last kid comes back in. And she's breaking down. She says, you know what? I just have to say it. I just have to say it. I just have to say it. I said, only if you're comfortable. Miss Space, go ahead. Couple months ago, whatever the timeline was, this 14-year-old girl comes home, sees dad dead from doing heroin, and a mom doesn't know how to live without him because he's the breadwinner, takes the rest, injects herself, and she dies right in front of her. Let me tell you, the room is silent. Everybody is uncomfortable. You know how people are laughing, oh, you are short, dog. Oh, you. They're making fun. No one's making fun of nobody. No one. Sandra's sitting there emotional. She knows the story. I don't know the story. The rest don't know the story. And everybody's like coming around her. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It was such a beautiful moment. And you know what that was? Here's what that was. I used that moment for the rest of my life when people would tell me how hard it is to build a business, how hard it is to raise kids, how hard it is to do this. I'm like, bro, whenever you get up thinking your life is so hard because the challenges you're feeling, you want everybody to feel sorry for you, trust me, I ask at the end, who in this room is willing to trade their problems with her? No one. I said, then stop bitching about how hard life is. Because there's somebody else right now that's holding their baby and they lost them. A 6-year-old, a 10-year-old, and they lost them. That's pain. Don't tell me how hard your life is. There's somebody that lost a parent. That's life. It sucks. It catches up to us. Had a client of mine, I sent a video to him. His 35-year-old wife got brain cancer and she dies out of nowhere. How does that happen? Is that fair? No. But to me, this concept of like, you know, you don't understand what I'm going through. You don't understand what I'm going through. Don't get me wrong, folks. I'm not telling you don't sympathize. I'm not telling you we don't need empathy. I'm not telling you I just empathize with a guy that we're sitting here talking about the fact that he's acting like a victim. And I'm saying I empathize with him because he doesn't give me the bad vibe. He gives me a vibe of a good freaking kid. Doesn't give me any bad vibes, right? But he's been fed some bullshit that makes him feel like a victim. Some men are raised by freaking mamas that don't want to give up their sons because no one's ever good for their son, so that boy will never get married. And they're holding their son hostage. Let the boy freaking go be someone else's love. Let him loose. The man needs to live his life. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Go. Go. And so a boy is raised being a mama's boy, and then you're soft later on. You're soft. And you always remember when you cried, mama was always there. So you're like, you become an adult, you're like, I want to cry because that's how I get my attention. Stop it already. Man, there is, you know, Leadership is hard. Parenting is hard. Being a husband is hard. Being a man is hard. It is. You know, and no one's selling the easiness of this part, but I'm not with that. I think at certain point you have to, I'm 14, 15 years old. All my friends are smoking weed. Smoke weed, smoke weed. No, I never smoke weed. No, I don't want to smoke weed. First time I smoked weed is because I chose to smoke weed. I don't want to smoke weed. I didn't have a brother that, you know, like Fred Trump. I didn't have anybody in a family that died. No. I'm like, no, I'm not going to smoke it. Why? You can show, is it restraint?
Restraint.
You can show that. Practice it. No, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. No. Let me tell you, it's all unfair. I don't know if I agree. You like, fight that a little bit. Fight that urge of, you know, needing that sympathy and that, oh, feel sorry for me. Man, fight that flippin' urge. You're going to be held hostage for the rest of your life with that unnecessary attention. It's not good. It's not necessary. And so to me, I get what you're saying. Like when I talk to you and we talk family, I get you. Once I understood you, I'm like, okay, I get it. You know, I understand when you came to us, you know, your father had passed away, girl, all that stuff. I get it. I sympathize. I empathize. But you can have a hard time being around me all the time. Like, you know, you don't understand it's unfair this. No, that's not, because we can control our thoughts and our decisions, and we can improve. Very simple. I had no plans of talking about this, and I didn't even think this was going to be. I was planning on going to the story for 5 minutes, and we move on to the next one. But to me, nothing about this kid gives me bad vibes. He's just got, unfortunately, the wrong people in their ears, and the wrong people that are in their ears, they have wrong people in their ears, and they have wrong people in their ears. 22 years ago, I read a book called 10 Generational Curses. It's actually not a big book. You've never heard of this book before. And one by one, I'm going through this book. Type in 10 Generational Curses. It's a book. I think that's the title of the book. Can you go to Amazon? Oh, that's the one, the third one. Third one down. Yeah, what's that? That's the one. When did it come out, Rob? What's the year that it came out?
2006.
19 years ago. I said 22. Wow, so that's the book when it came out. And I'm going through it. I'm like, oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Alcohol. When my dad was an alcoholic, abuse. When my dad hit me, drugs. When my dad this, gambling. When my dad was gambling. There's a freaking cut it. Stop the damn curse. No, it's not going to get to the next generation. It's going to be stop right here with me. I'm the new leader. I'm the new leader. No one in my family is going to be passed down to, period. It stops right here. You stop that pain. You get to do that as a man, as a leader. It's not easy to do. Don't blame your dad. Don't blame your grandfather. No, move on. We don't know the whole story. Let's move on and be leaders. That's what we need today in America, in the world, everywhere. We need more men like that sheriff that came out and, you know, what was his name? Waiter?
TK Waters.
TK Waters. Respect to you, sir. Man, like this is driving me insane. Someone's got to put a stop to this behavior. Constantly feeding this in their ear, feeding, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair. Stop it. No. Kid wants that. My son yesterday wanted me to say it's not fair. I'm not going to give it to him. It's not fair. No, it is fair. It is fair. Publicly, I'll defend you. Privately, you screwed up. And he says, you're right. Okay, good. Let's move on. What do you want to talk about? And we talked till midnight last night. Awesome conversation. We moved on. Manned up, took responsibility. Let's move on. Everything's going to be okay. Damn, this just pisses me off. But anyways, all right. So what story do we have that is there? Do we want to do Jon Stewart? Do we want to go to?
You want to end on something a little more lighthearted?
All right, let's.
That was pretty intense and respectful.
You know what? Let's do Columbia, Tom. Are you okay with that?
Yes, indeed.
Let's go to the Columbia story. And Harvard. By the way, I don't know if you guys heard about the $220 million with Columbia and Harvard. You got to hear about the story. Prior to doing this, the Manek contest ends in about a few days, and Vinny looks like he's about to break the record. We got 8 days left. If you can go to Manek.com/Leaders Bulletin, Rob, check this out, folks. Lightweight Ashley Glenn is all the way at the top.
Wow.
At 394. Giancarlo was here yesterday. Bought a new watch. Oh, did he? Handsome Giancarlo.
Nice.
Freaking love that guy.
I got a Manek from a girl. Hecka was like, you didn't tell me he was that good looking. I go, yeah, because I'm not gay. She had a call with Giancarlo.
Sure about that?
John Kiraku, CIA officer. Then you got the rest of the crew there. Then Scott Storch came up.
Oh,
all right,
wow.
Scott Storch, 8th place.
Okay.
Paul Williams, Mr. Handsome Paul Williams, who's very fashionable. Rhino YouTuber is also on there on number 7. Rob, let's go to middleweight. Let's see what we got on middleweight. Middle, we got Tommy at the top. He's competing. Constantine number 2, 549. Aaron Montes 3. Then you got Dean Mason. Dean is 13 points behind Aaron. Come on, Dean. Come on, Shipley. A lot of good guys there. Go to the next one, Rob. Heavyweight. We got heavyweight Masons at the top, tied with Daniel DeBrincat. Okay, good.
Oh, wow.
Michael Mara, and then you got Sebastian. Quick shout out to Daniel. What a freaking good guy.
Oh.
What a sweet guy. Daniel, wherever you are, you're a phenomenal guy, buddy.
DeBrincat?
And then go to the last one. Who's the last one that we got? Go to the last one that we got. Super
Patrick
heavyweight.
Williams.
Look at the super heavyweight at the top. Look at this handsome bachelor single Vincent
Connect me
Oshana.
if you want to say hi.
By the way, if you want to see Lindy Lee win,
No, don't-
go connect her.
Pat, don't do
if
that.
you want to see
Guys,
Vinny win, go connect
She's
him.
close to me. Somebody, come on, baby. We gotta do it for America.
And then you got the rest of the camp that's on there, and we'll see what will take place. But on the user side, go to the user side. I sent somebody to Zeus Vega the other day.
Oh,
Zeus wrote such a phenomenal article about Manek, the way he uses
that?
it.
That was
I
great.
shared it all over Manek support,
Oh my
which is
God.
Zeus is loose.
Kyle Webb,
Zeus is
Michael
loose.
Lamb, and Shataj Anwar, top 3. They're competing to come to the dinner. And then go to the next one, Rob. By the way, anybody can start competing for that as well. New people existing. Zeus is not. It's not even close. 3,100 points.
Holy
Damn.
3,100.
Dalton, Dorothy. Look how close Dalton and Dorothy are. And then Hecka's at 4th place. And you got everybody else. Timothy
Who's this
Ross.
guy? Who's this guy? Tyrone. I don't see this Tyrone.
Tyrone Jones.
Timothy. Timothy.
All right, let's go to this next one here. Let's go to this next one here and wrap it up. Where's that story? I just looked at the story.
It's in the addendum.
Addendum page 6.
Addendum page 6. Oh, there it is. Columbia University to pay out more than $220 million in deal after violating Jewish student civil rights in massive win for Trump's administration. Brandon and Humberto are very excited about this. Let me go to it right
You hear
now.
them cheering in the back?
As you go through this story, the Trump administration secured a settlement with Columbia University requiring the Ivy League school to pay more than $220 million, including $200 million in settlement discrimination claims and $20 million to the Jewish employees discriminated against them at anti-Semitism demonstrations on October 7, 2023. Hamas attacks against Israel, with a spokesperson for the House Oversight Committee stating subpoenas will be issued in the future to further investigate related issues. Columbia agreed to submit to independent monitoring to ensure compliance with merit-based hiring and admissions and discriminatory programming in line with Supreme Court's 2023 decisions banning race-based affirmative action. The settlement described by Columbia Active President Claire Shipman as the agreement marks an important step forward after a period of sustained federal scrutiny and institutional uncertainty. Rob, can you go to Trump's tweet? Oh, you have it up already. Thank you. I am pleased to announce that the administration has reached a historic agreement with Columbia University. They've agreed to pay a penalty of $200 million to the United States government and a $20 million Jewish employees who were unlawfully targeted. Columbia has also committed to ending this ridiculous DEI, admitting student base only on merit and protecting the civil liberties of their students. Numerous other higher education institutions that have hurt so many and been so unfair and unjust have wrongly spent federal money, much of it from our government and upcoming, meaning they're coming up. It's a great honor to have been involved, and I want to thank and congratulate Secretary Linda McMahon and all those who work with us on this important deal. I also want to thank and commend Columbia University for agreeing to do what is right. I look forward to watching them have a great future in our country, maybe greater than ever. I love the tweet. Tom, thoughts on the story?
Well, attention, Yale, Harvard, Brown, Dartmouth. Who am I leaving
Berkeley?
out? Syracuse, the rest of the Ivy League mafia. Guess what? You're next. This is called a precedent. This is called, wait, let me quote a famous liberal that some of you Ivies may like, an inconvenient truth. This is a very inconvenient truth because it's an inconvenient precedent. It's got a dollar figure. It's got a date. It's got a reason. It's got to be a problem if you're Harvard. And they're also saying subpoenas will be issued in the future. Why? Because people are going to come forward to find out who gets what of the $200 million and the $20 million to the employees, because they're going to get to the bottom of who was discriminated against. And by the way, these are Jewish employees that were afraid to go to work, that were heckled walking in, that were they weren't beaten, but they were jostled about and they were chased. They were very scared going into work, and you're being surrounded by these crowds. And $20 million is going to go to the Jewish employees who were discriminated at that. And by the way, way, below into the fine print, which is something that the NYPD wanted, you know what it is, Vinny?
What?
A ban on masked protests. Guess what? If they were to say, hey, there's people protesting in the quad, they're saying these things like this, and they're wearing masks, NYPD, not the university PD, NYPD said, yeah, we'll be right over.
You could grab them.
And guess what? You're taking your mask off, buddy, so you can't have masks. This is huge on about 5 different layers. Something happened on Colombia, and they didn't push back at. Meanwhile, across the aisle at the Ivy League, Harvard was in court within the last week, pushing against trying to get their grant money back, criticizing the Trump administration, being complete jerks about their defense, not wanting.
Were they really being complete jerks?
Harvard was complaining. Now, does Harvard feel that they have a point? Does Harvard feel that they have a legal angle? Does Harvard feel that they have something? Yes, they do. But when you step back and look at it, you guys are being uncooperative and you're using the court system to protect your grants is what you're doing. And so, okay, all right, you want to do that? Well, just what? So you want to make it legal. That's what you want to do, Harvard? Last week you were doing this... the disrupting these hearings and doing all this stuff, and you want to take legal thing with the administration? I've got some legal thing. The State Department would like to know about how you have been approving visas and would like to know about how you have been sponsoring people with visas. And the State Department would like to know what countries you've been specifically bringing people in from and what you're doing and how you've been doing it. So why don't we talk about that? Wow. So now what Harvard gets now is Marco Rubio saying, all right, well, if you want to take the legal path, tell you what, the State Department would like to open up some hearings and would like to find this out. Instead of Harvard getting with the program saying, hang on, let's see if we could talk about this, they go to the microphone, Pat, and say, this is yet another retaliatory step by the Trump administration to violate Harvard's First Amendment rights. Wait a minute. Check the quote. How is the State Department doing an investigation into your practices of assisting foreign students to get visas have anything at all to do with your First Amendment rights? So you know what they're doing? The inflammatory quote. Yet another retaliatory step by the Trump administration to violate our rights. So here you've got Colombia saying, all right, we're going to agree. We're going to pay some money to some people. Those Jewish employees were totally terrified. It was bad. We're going to give them a settlement too. We're going to take care of this, and we're going to submit to oversight. We're going to submit to the subpoenas, and we're going to clean all this up. Sorry about that. And now that's what we're going to do. And this is Colombia's acting president, Claire Shipman. Why is there an acting president? Because the other president was stuck in a cannon and shot out at something hard.
Yeah.
So that's that. And meanwhile, you've got Harvard wants to make everything a legal bitch and make everything a fight and everything pushing back. This precedent at Colombia, I hope it carries forward. But because there's a tale of two cities. We will keep litigating. We will keep pushing. We will keep doing all this stuff at Harvard. Colombia says, you know, maybe we effed up and maybe we should just sit down and get a settlement together and get on with life. That's what Colombia just did. And that's what the president tweeted on Colombia, said, thank you. Let's get on with it.
Yeah. And by the way, good for them on that happening. But this is the beautiful thing about bullying and bad policies. You can only get away with bullying for so long, especially in America. You can only get away with it for so long. You can only get away with bad policies for so long. Eventually, people learn it's a bad policy. Go to Detroit, Dearborn. At once, it was one of the greatest cities we had in America. Wealth, everything. Liberal policies showed up, destroyed the place. Look at California. Unemployment, they were in the top 20. They were not the top 5 or top 10. Do you know the year before Newsom became governor, what California ranked in unemployment? Number 16. You know where California is at right now for unemployment? Number 1. Yeah, so listen, it's on Newsom. You go to Florida, we have fun with Newsom a lot here, the fact that he doesn't own a house or a car. The reality of it is, DeSantis. The best governor, DeSantis in Florida. Yeah. The reality of it is, guess what? He did great for Florida. People feel safe raising their kids here. It's a great environment. He's done a phenomenal job as a governor. But bad policies and bullying eventually gets exposed, and that's exactly what these Ivy League schools were doing for the longest time. And anyways, Adam, your thoughts on the story?
Well, these universities are supposed to be safe spaces. How many times have you ever heard that? It's a safe space. You got to protect yourself. It's a safe space. Unless if you're Jewish. And we've seen so many times during COVID, there was Stop Asian Hate because people were hating on Asians because they thought, oh, you started COVID. All right. That's very prejudiced and it's very racist. On any of these campuses, trans rights, women's rights, gay rights, blacks, lesbian, any type of, you could be anything you want, you're protected unless you're Jewish. And here's what I've experienced. People say, Adam, how do you have thick skin? How do you have such thick skin? It's called practice. Once you start getting F you, screw yourself, all right, cool. You're an idiot, you suck, all right, cool. Kill yourself, all right. I'm going to kill you. And you start getting death threats on the regular, you start getting very thick skin. And you start to realize, holy moly. So, I'm equipped for this because this is, quite frankly, what we do at this point, a professional. Imagine being 18, 19, you got nothing to do with what's going on in the Middle East, in Gaza, in Israel, whatsoever. You're a Jewish kid in New York, and all of a sudden you're getting harassed, bullied, death threats. How do you deal with this? You have a daughter who's 19 now, probably. You have another daughter who's 16.
No,
could you imagine?
She's 14.
14.
I apologize. Could you imagine if she was dealing with something like that on campus? I have a close friend whose younger cousin goes to Harvard. I asked him 2 years ago, I said, so how is it? He's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, man. I go, but because we're seeing things on campus. And we have a whole stats on what the encampments, Rob, if you could pull that up. He's like, it's not that bad. I saw him a couple months ago. He's like, oh, no, dude, it's bad. I go, but you told me a couple years ago it wasn't that bad. He goes, I was wrong. Yeah, it's bad. It is like really freaking bad. I fear for my life. At Harvard. So imagine this. Here's a stat right here. 99% of schools don't have this crap. Most kids in schools, as you can see here, are just going to school. They're not protesting. They're not having encampments. But these elite universities, the Harvards of the world, the Columbias of the world, and so on and so forth, that's just where this happens.
If you could explain the chart.
So what happens here is a distribution.
To the left, it shows the tuition of the biggest schools. You notice the tuition, the high, like 60,000 plus. That's Ivy League. Okay?
So protest and affordability.
Right.
So the higher the price the school, the more likely it is for encampments and protests. So all these institutions of higher learning are just indoctrinating kids.
Yeah, of course. It's insane.
So if you're going to community college here in Miami,
nobody's on the streets.
I don't have time for that. I'm trying to learn.
I gotta go to work.
At these institutions of higher learning, this is where they're indoctrinating kids. This is where Marxism and socialism and Islamism have sort of teamed up and said, yes, let's get a hold of these kids. You got white kids wearing the terrorist rag, the whatever they call it, hijab, or what is the Palestinian
girls
rag?
Is hijab. I don't know.
Whatever it's called.
It's the Ray-Bans and the dish towel thing.
Yeah, the dish towel thing.
What do you mean the terrorist?
Whatever the Palestinian rag is, the thing that they wear everywhere.
Oh, I don't know what you call it, but you're talking about the flag. That's not a terrorist.
Not the flag.
No, he's talking about the red and white scarf.
Talking about the white scarf thing, whatever they wear.
And it's called a terrorist flag?
Terrorist rag.
No.
That's what you're calling. That's not what
I'm calling.
It's the white headdress with the black
whatever it's called.
spots on it.
Right.
So here's the problem that I've realized. Do you know what Bibi Netanyahu's approval rating is in Israel? In Israel. It's somewhere around 30, 40%. It hovers. Meaning in Israel, 60% plus of Israelis don't approve of what he's doing. It's a democracy. Just like in America, more than 50% of the country doesn't approve of Trump. It's a democracy. 46% respondents. There it is right there. So here's the challenge that you have in the world right now. All right, so you don't approve of what Bibi Netanyahu. All right, so you hate Israel. Okay, cool. All right, so because you hate Israel, you hate Zionism. All right, then that leads to, because I hate Israel, because I don't approve of Zionism, now I hate Jews. And you go from not liking Bibi Netanyahu and approving what's going on in the war here to kill all the Jews. What was the whole thing that Dave Portnoy was basically protesting against? Kill all the Jews. So it's a slippery slope. I don't wish this for anybody. Black, white, Asian, Mexican, Assyrian, Armenian, gay. Nobody deserves this. But Israel, as the only Jewish state, is going to have to deal with this. And they're used to it at this point. You know the happiest people in the Middle East? The happiest people in the Middle East? Israelis. Who is the least happiest people? The angriest people?
Iran.
Iran. So that should tell you something right there. To my Jewish friends out there, I'll just say this. Start developing thick freaking skin. That's all I can tell you. Because this isn't going anywhere. Get used to it. Be proud. Be who you are. Be reasonable. I've embroiled this into three camps, if I may. There's the people out there who basically say Israel can do no right. They're the worst. Kill all the Jews. You're never going to win these people over. There's the people who basically are Israel. Say, Israel can do no wrong. They can't do anything. Everything, they got to protect themselves. I'm not even in that camp. Then there's the reality, and this is my opinion, that Israel is a good country in a bad freaking neighborhood, and sometimes they got to do some pretty fucking bad things to some bad people, and that it's kill or be killed in the Middle East. You went on a nice little lecture yesterday in our meeting about you guys don't know what it's like on that side of the world. You have no clue what it's like in the comfort of your own home in America or in Western cities, what it's like living in that side of the world. I say this all the time, that the Middle East is not the Midwest. You have no clue what it's like when your neighbors are Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, Islamic Jihad, and what's going on. You have no clue. In America, we're freaking out about Tren de Agua. This is Tren de Agua times 10. And you should be living in Iran right now, straight up. But because Islamic evangelicals, terrorists, took over Iran, we have the luxury of having PBD here now. You shouldn't be here. And there's a lot of people in the world are being displaced because of what's going on in the Middle East.
You want to deport me now?
Yeah,
Like,
you
is
want
that
to
what
send
you're
them
saying?
bad? We're all going to be out of a job.
That's
What
what
are
I
you
do on
doing?
Twitter.
So wait, just
But PBD, if you would, please take a sec. Why don't...
Breaking news.
What is
What?
it?
Oh, we're about to get
Sorry,
break.
keep going.
Yeah.
You got it.
What you said yesterday was very true. What don't people understand about living in the Middle East?
Okay.
Amongst those people, what does the average Americans not understand of living in that side of the world?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's just knowing the fact that your neighbors are constantly chaotic in the Middle East. You're not going to understand it. It's not like in America. You don't worry about it because you don't see what's going on in Canada and Mexico. Those are your neighbors. It's not something you go to sleep thinking about wars and being bombed on and all this other stuff. It's going to teach you a very different perspective. But yeah, the only thing I would tell you that I'm uncomfortable with, if this thing goes so far to one side that we can't call out and debate, that's the only thing. So as long as it goes to a point that I can't call out and debate, that now you're dealing with freedom of speech, and that's a problem. No matter what it is, I should be able to call out, the president, Trump. I should be able to call out Obama. I should be able to call out, people should be able to call me out. I should be able to call out blacks, whites, Jews, Christians, Hindu, Muslims, everybody. And if it's to the point that a person's walking on eggshells, if I say something, you're an Islamophobe, you're a anti-Semite, you're a bigot, you're a this, you're a that, that's what's forced a lot of people to get so aggressively on the opposite side. But what Colombia and these universities did, yeah, they're being held accountable and good for them. They've been brainwashing people for God knows how long. You want me to spend $60,000 to $80,000 sending my kids to your school for them to be brainwashed that capitalists are bad and America's bad, it's a terrible country, that Thomas Jefferson, Washington, these people were horrible slave owners and all? No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. I'm not interested in that. It takes me back to when Hillary and Trump are doing a debate. I'm in Chow Hall in Harvard, and I'm seeing 100% of people that were in the room were rooting for Hillary. That's when I realized this is not a freaking school. This is a what do you call it? Indoctrination camp. Vinny, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify. So it's not a terrorist scarf. It's called a keffiyeh.
Keffiyeh. My apologies.
And then Adam, Dave Portnoy.
There's no reason that Americans should know what a keffiyeh is at all.
Well, I mean, they should.
But they're wearing it like it's the newest fashion, like it's Jinko jeans in the 90s.
No, I get it. Well, and then with David Portnoy, it wasn't kill the Jews. They had some idiot who had that sign that said F the Jews. There's a big difference between kill the Jews and F the Jews. But I think Colombia, listen. You could
go to any protest. You're going to see signs that are more outrageous than that.
Well, you said Dave Portnoy. It wasn't about killing Jews, but in regard to the protest, you could all you want. Do what? That's freedom of speech, freedom of assembly. Go do your thing. Okay, when you're abusing and hitting and harassing any race of students, I'm happy that they're going to pay the bill. Good. And my favorite thing out of what you said, Tom, was the mask situation. If you're going to go out there and you're going to talk the shit and you're going to walk the walk, let us see your face. Let us see your face.
Any demonstration, all participants must be unmasked.
Every single body. Because guess what? On January 6th, if they let everybody take off everybody mask, if you have a mask, you're going to go to jail. I want to see everybody because guess what? maybe there were the FBI. We could see who the hell your faces are, so we don't have to deal with the aftermath. So that's my take.
It's also happens to be if you're protesting and you're not wearing a mask, you have nothing to worry about.
No,
if you're protesting and doing some nasty stuff, we want to know you so that other witnesses can say that was the guy.
We got to wrap up. I got the armored truck outside. I got to go pick something up. You'll see what that is. But in the interim, the great Hulk Hogan just died at the age of 71.
Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan just died right now at the age of 71. Yes.
We just saw him. We were just a couple months ago.
He was just here on the podcast.
Wow.
71 years old, suffering cardiac arrest at Florida home. Legend.
When was he on the podcast?
Less than a year ago.
That was November.
Legend. Just passed away. Yeah.
Tom's playing a song for Hulk.
Tom and Brandon and all their alarms.
Tom's going to play a song. That came on the queue. Was perfect.
We were
Anyways,
with him at Mar-a-Lago
yes, we were.
when Trump
you are right.
was there.
You are right. Anyways, gang.
9 months ago.
Tomorrow we have a podcast coming out with Chris Cappy. Chris Cappy is an 11 Bravo military vet that we discussed a lot of different things, what DARPA's working on. That'll come out tomorrow. Enjoy the weekend. We will do this again next week. God bless everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.